What's going on? I am Nando.
And I'm DJ.
And I'm so terribly delighted to see you. Yes. Hi, my name is Diggins, actually.
And this is Mostly Nitpicking, a podcast where every week we pick apart a piece of pop culture by looking exclusively at the details. Woohoo!
Woo!
This week we're doing the second Imaginary Friend movie of 2023 or 4. And maybe the last, unless we do that one anime one. But we decided, because we had a week to kill and this just came out on VOD, we're going to watch the hot new movie of the summer. All the stars are in it. It's called If. Which, what a ballsy name. To be like, we're just going to name our movie If. Fuck it. People will see it. You know? No one will even wonder. It's like, and it's also like
catchy name for imaginary friends. Everyone will know what it means.
Yeah. And also, like, I feel like it gives you, If has such a feeling already attached to it of, like, not indecision, you know? If you're like, I want to go see If, in your brain, I feel like that gives you a little bit of, like, or do I, though? And then you don't, you know? Maybe, or maybe you do. We'll get to it.
Well, apparently you don't, according to the box office.
Some of us don't. I mean, we saw it, so who are we to judge? If any, and then, you know what?
The people who saw it.
Yeah, people that were in it probably went and saw it. There were a lot of people in it. So, you know. And they,
well, I mean, as you pointed out, we did it because it's on VOD, so we did not contribute to the box office.
That's true. And speaking of box office and movies where we will not contribute to it, news of the week, 2 newses, both Netflix trailers, both the Netflixiest of Netflix movies. We got 2 of them. You guys, you saw the trailer for Red 1. How about that, huh?
Yeah, I think it's cool. I'll say it. I think it's cool. I like a cheeky Santa Claus movie. I don't care that it's stupid. You know, it's stupid, and I still think it's cool. And it has to be good for certain selfish reasons about predictions I may or may not have made. So this movie needs to fucking rule.
Oh, yeah. That one's going to get saved. Your The Rock prediction is going to totally work out. This was the movie that they had so much trouble with, apparently. In all those articles,
like 50 million over budget or whatever, because The Rock refused to show up on set ever.
Only to pee in bottles, and then he left. He used the set as his personal pee bottle storage, apparently. But yeah, apparently Chris Evans was like super annoyed. Or no, actually, that's not true. It was that Ryan Reynolds was annoyed when they filmed the last one of these. Red Notice, not Red 1. Isn't it weird that they both have that title?
A little bit, yeah.
I don't know what's up with that. But I think they did. I think it was said that Chris Evans was also pissed about that. And frankly, like, he should be.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, listen, I'm an advocate for not working and for not caring about your job and all of that. But 8 hours late to a film set where everybody else has to sit there for 8 hours until you get there, that's insane. That's psychotic behavior.
Well, at least he hasn't built his brand on waking up early and really working hard to be everywhere he needs to be, you know? Like,
has a whole alarm clock that's kind of part of the system.
Yep.
Started a beef with Vin Diesel over Vin Diesel supposedly doing this exact thing.
Yeah. Which, although I don't know if you guys saw, Paul Walter Hauser did an interview for Inside Out 2 where he was like, Vin Diesel sucks in the interview. I don't know. Did that make it to everybody? The Vin Diesel, Paul Walter Hauser interview?
No. Not me.
Oh. Is it? He said, like, someone was like, I can't remember what it was. Someone brought up something in an interview and he went, let's say, for example, the thing was like, and Paul Walter Hauser, you're so great. And I hear you don't, you know, show up late all the time and you sing your own songs and something. He's like, well, yeah, I'm not Vin Diesel. And then everybody went, ha ha ha. And he's like, yeah, I'll call Vin Diesel out. I don't care. So Paul Walter Hauser and Vin Diesel got to fight.
My goodness.
Yeah. He'll be in the family insane. Soon, you know? Like after one fight, then he becomes good and part of the group again.
Right.
But
wait,
yeah.
What songs is Vin Diesel not singing?
A lot of them, you know? The national anthem. Probably some others.
Did you guys see Alanis Morissette sing the national anthem for Game 7 of Panthers-Oilers?
No.
In what world would I have seen this?
Because she is a daughter of both Canada and the U.S. Well, I guess she's a daughter of Canada, but also has U.S. citizenship. But so she sang both because I guess she's the unifier between Canada and America. And it was alright.
Her and Ryan Reynolds.
I was gonna say, yeah, we already have one of those. It's Ryan Reynolds.
He should have sang the national anthem.
Yeah, he was too busy trying to figure
probably.
out what happened with this. You know, just poring over the numbers, like, but it had all the
It should have
stars.
been perfect.
Yeah. But what else, I don't know, what was interesting about it? Red One. Who's in it? Lucy Liu's in it. Good for her.
Yep.
J.K. Simmons is Santa.
Yeah, that's a trend. We will continue into the next one of these. What would
J.K.
it be
Simmons
like?
being Santa, you mean?
Maybe. We don't know the twist of whatever the next one is. But what would it be like if a Netflix movie had Santa Claus who was more of a cool action guy than usual? You know, what would that be like?
I don't know. I can't think of anything that's like that.
Yeah.
Anything that Netflix has done specifically?
Yeah.
Any specifically Netflix-made Christmas movies where Santa's like a cool guy instead of just a regular jolly old man.
Yeah, where they like chronicle his adventures going around and playing saxophone and stuff and killing aliens or whatever else it is he does. Having sex with women in Missouri in the 80s to make a Star-Lord. That's what he does.
That's
yeah.
right.
What was interesting about this? I don't know. It's got that kind of... It feels like... what was the movie Rise of the Guardians? Feels a lot like that. Feels like we're doing that again.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we're redoing that for sure.
So cool. Great.
I mean,
You know?
I like that movie.
So wait,
it's very silly,
mean,
but I like it.
Does that mean that The Rock is going to kiss Elsa?
I was going to say maybe J.K. Simmons in the fan art. I mean, they all can. Everybody can have, you know, we can mix and match Anna, Kristoff, all the Frozens. Getting 2 more of those soon. So hooray.
Oh, are we?
We are. Yeah, they announced that this week. The Rock's
Making
going to be
3
in
and
both of them.
4 at the same
No,
time.
just kidding. Maybe.
But like, why? To what end?
I guess
Money,
they make a lot of money. Yeah.
Right. I keep,
Incredibly successful movies.
when will I learn that it's just that? It's the answer is money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's confusing because with the Netflix ones, they don't make money, but they keep making them. And they cost money. So, like, what, you know, it's like the opposite. Are they throwing it away? Kind of.
Yeah, they pretty much literally are, yeah.
We haven't really talked about it, but Chris Evans is in this trailer doing Ryan Reynolds. Isn't that something?
It sure is. I don't know.
The world's greatest tracker.
I assume this movie will be very fine, but I don't know. Like I want it ratcheted up to the most goofiness, right? And I'm worried that the Chris Evans is going to make it like too serious. Does that make sense?
I don't know. I wouldn't say he's like only
wouldn't
serious.
I would say he's one of our, like, noted dramatic actors.
No, but
Yeah.
I'm saying like can Chris Evans bring the camp needed is my point.
No, none of them can. But that's, you know, whatever. The
camp
Rock can't
needed
either.
for this movie? No.
The Rock
Yeah.
But,
can.
yeah.
about
Can he?
that.
I think he can.
I
Can
mean,
he, though?
okay. No, to be fair, Chris Evans, Scott Pilgrim. If we got that Chris Evans back, that could work.
Yeah.
That Chris Evans is
has
gone.
done
He's no longer with us.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true. I think he does do, like, I think he's like Chris Hemsworth. He's done more interesting performances since leaving the MCU.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to be...
Like,
I mean, it's kind of like Ghosted. We'll get to the Ghosted of it all in the next one, but like, I feel like that's kind of what this character's going to be, where something crazy happens and he goes, "Oh my God." And then, you know, kind of keeps going.
To be clear, I don't think this is going to be a Chris Evans performance for the ages.
Yeah.
Because it's a bad Netflix movie. But I think he's capable of it.
yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm. Now, speaking of actors that are not capable of performances, Mark Wahlberg's in a new movie, you guys, with Halle Berry. You can tell because the trailer on YouTube reads The Union, Mark Wahlberg plus Halle Berry. Official trailer, Netflix.
I'm glad they cleared that up for us.
Yeah.
I guess we didn't know.
I mean, I think they would call it that if they thought they could get away with it. Mark Wahlberg plus Halle Berry, you know? Because that's what these are. That's what the algorithm spat out.
It's true.
You know? But yeah, they're making Ghosted again, but with Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry this time. Pretty cool.
Well, it seems
What do
like
you
there's
guys-
less stalking this time, so that's an
Yeah,
improvement.
that's true. That's better.
Well,
yeah,
you know,
she's
it's an
stalking
improvement.
him now.
And that's fine in that direction. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
However, it is also starring Mark Wahlberg, so one step forward, two steps back.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What'd you guys think of this trailer?
Oh, I'm so unenamored by this movie.
I watched this trailer, and I'm just like, I can feel the incredibly stupid Act 2 twist. I can feel it.
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
It's got to be okay. There's two possibilities. One, he secretly is a spy or some other like top secret agent, and this is all a double bluff or whatever.
That was my
Or
money. Yeah.
that this is all a trap for him specifically because secretly he knows the codes for the Queen's diamonds or whatever.
I like that.
I'm getting more of a picture of that. It's like, I mean, J.K. Simmons is going to be the bad guy or something. Only because that's what that Heart of Stone one of these with Gal Gadot was. I don't see how that will factor into this and be a twist. But I think that they'll think that's a twist. I don't know. I mean, he's Mark Wahlberg. Like, he's one of our most relatable normal guys. So if ever an actor was going to just be a normal guy, it's him.
Mm-hmm.
From Jersey. He's a normal guy from Jersey.
Yeah, his regular old blue-collar upbringing that is immediately apparent in everything he says and does, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. We'll take him. You know, Mark, if you want to come over.
In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
I mean, you know, there'd be a little bit of vetting. But in general, I think we'd like him. He's yeah, I feel like Boston and Jersey are different flavors of the same, you know, ice cream or whatever. You know?
Different flavors of the same ice cream.
Like, they're both ice cream instead of, like, a nice, delicious steak or something.
I don't hate
sugary,
it. I don't hate it.
We're kind of not good for you. But
look,
people like us.
I'm not saying that New Jersey is free of this stink, but I wouldn't appreciate his hate crime flakes all over our ice cream.
That's true.
Yeah, we don't like the hate crime flakes. That's fair.
No. And I feel like, I don't know, what else was interesting about this one? I don't know. Nothing. This feels like one of those movies. How many of those have they made so far?
Netflix specifically?
Kind of all of them, yeah. Like if you had to...
more than we know, because so many of these just get shoveled out there to no fanfare and they disappear immediately.
Well, okay, so there's two flavors of them. The second one, I think, just had one come out with Jessica Alba. Did you see this? It's called like Trigger Warning, but it's not her stand up or something about the lips. It's more about like she's actually a secret. It's one of those like she's secretly a badass who does her own stunts, kind of like that Mary Elizabeth Winstead one or like the Chris Hemsworth ones, you know. But so there's those, but then there's these like action comedy spy movies that cost way too much money. I just want to like kind of make a list. So you got Red Notice, obviously, the big one.
Yep.
The Gray Man. And I would say Gray Man borders on not being a comedy, but I think that was what it was kind of trying to do. What else? We got Ghosted. What else?
You're saying these, and I'm like, they all like left my head as soon as I saw
Heart
them.
of Stone.
I saw the movie, and then it's gone.
What was this one we just did called? The Union.
Well, the one we just watched the trailer for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's 6 right there. I do think there's probably more.
There's definitely more. It's just they leave your brain as soon as they enter it.
They really do.
Yeah.
They're made to be disposable.
Argyle. Absolutely. Not a Netflix.
Oh, yep.
But 100% one of these. Yeah, so there's 7 right there. I'm excited. I'm like a little bit bummed we didn't do Heart of Stone, but I don't think it was interesting enough to be worth it.
Never seen it, so I'll have to take your word for it.
It's pretty dull. So yeah, what else is exciting about this Mark Wahlberg one? I don't know. Think he's gonna run off that bridge and die?
That's some pretty stupid training. All right, I'm going to blindfold you, and he has to be super spy, right? Or else this would kill any regular person. Just run off of this narrow roof and stop when I tell you to stop. And you have 3 feet on each side, and hopefully you don't just run straight off the building because you didn't hear me say stop. What? You said stop? Like,
yeah.
That's, yeah.
Buildings are so loud. like it's so windy up there and stuff.
I feel like this is a training regimen that could be easily replicated with no loss of efficacy by, say, a piece of tape on the floor.
Yeah. Right.
They're doing the dangerous version of it for no benefit whatsoever.
Right. And he's blindfolded, so it could be anywhere to like test him, you know, and then you take off the blindfold and you're in a safe place. But I don't know. How'd they get up there? It's probably the stairs or something. Or a helicopter, or they climbed. Why are all these movies about a cool hunky guy doing this? Why can't like a schlub do it?
Do you want Bobby Moynihan doing it?
We can't, in good conscience, allow the American people to see Uggos.
Okay.
I don't know how many times I have to say this.
Then we'll cover them in penguin makeup, like Colin Farrell, and then he can do it. Just that's all I want with one of these. It's just like the whole bit is like, well, he's clearly. I guess that was what that movie Spy was. I didn't really like that either. Oh well, you can't win. Spy walked so all of these could run. By the way. Probably honestly better than all of them too, but I heard someone describe it like this, and I think it's interesting because Red One and the Union both fall into this. They say Netflix doesn't make movies; they make trailers, and they make like like movies that are sold very sellable as trailers, but when you watch them, you're like, yeah, whatever. That's interesting.
They're primo second screen content.
They really are,
and I say content deliberately here.
What if you put on your first screen, you put Red Notice, and then on your second screen, you put these other two? Not at the same time, obviously, one at a time. Because that way you can get double the content. And it's probably about the same. It's probably like Dark Side of the Moon. It probably syncs up with itself at certain points, you know? That could be cool. The Rock could say, like, I don't want to be your friend at the same time to Ryan Reynolds and Chris Evans, you know?
Most likely.
Yeah. It's a shame because he seems like such a nice, friendly guy. But speaking of friends... We got to talk about some, as we like to, you know, just make it nice and simple. We got to talk about If, the movie about imaginary friends.
We sure do.
We do. You guys, If, a movie came out this year, like April or something, directed by John Krasinski, written by, I'm going to say John Krasinski, that's a guess, starring a bunch of guys. Yeah.
I don't know if there are any other writers besides John Krasinski.
Probably like a million, but whatever. They don't matter. We'll leave them out of this for now. But yeah, John Krasinski is in it. Ryan Reynolds, some kid. All the greats are here. So Diggins, as the winner of the IMDb last game, I'm not thrilled about this summary.
Yeah, same.
I want to quickly just say that John Krasinski is in fact the only credited writer, which, having watched the movie, makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like, he didn't write Quiet Place, right? Or did he steal Quiet Place or something? I don't know how that went.
I think he wrote it.
I'm pretty sure somebody else wrote a movie that's just like Quiet Place or a book or something a couple of years before.
Yeah,
John
many
Krasinski
people
wrote
have
it.
Made a story quite just like A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
John Krasinski co-wrote A Quiet Place.
Okay.
Okay.
This has real Quiet Place vibes, if you ask me. You know?
And I do ask you.
Yeah.
All the time.
What if, oh my God.
He's the only person who wrote the second one, which everyone thinks is worse.
And the third one, maybe? The new one that comes out soon with Lupita, I think.
Did he also write that one?
I don't know. He's not even in that one because it's like Quiet Place, New York, the beginning.
Well, he's not in the second one either.
Well, the second one has a flashback sequence that he is in, because I've seen parts of the second one.
Oh, okay.
And he works his way into these. You can't keep him out. And you know what? The people love him, obviously, except for in this movie, but like usually. So, you know, he's kind of a draw.
He's Jim, and we love Jim.
And he already knows all the lines because he wrote them. So that's a plus, you know?
The new Quiet Place, he did the story, but he did not write it.
Okay.
What does that mean?
He probably went, the monsters go like this. You know?
Yeah, it means like because the screenwriter is also credited with story. So it means the two of them like sat in a room, talked about like, I think the movie should be like this. Okay, and then the other guy actually wrote it.
I see. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the John Krasinski project, much like The Quiet Place. They're going for that same demo. And you know what? It was kind of a huge bomb, but also it didn't it didn't make a lot of money, but it also cost an insane amount of money, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
If this cost the amount of money that this movie should have cost, this would have been a modest success because it made like 180 million at the box office, which isn't a bad return.
Right.
But when you spend as much money as they spend on this one, then it's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like, okay, so a lot of money was spent on animation, clearly. Like, the ifs don't look terrible. They look expensive. But I also assume all the people were very expensive, like the voice actors.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Probably. But we'll get into more of that later. For now, here we play a little game called the IMDb, B as in spelling bee, where my two esteemed co-hosts have to try to guess what the IMDb summary for this movie is. Now, you might be asking yourselves, where does IMDb.com get those summaries?
Where do they get them, Diggins?
Well, I'll tell you. Thousands of years ago, a select group of humans were abducted by aliens who came from beyond the stars. Took these humans and brought them to their futuristic city, light years away from Earth, where they showed them their culture, their science, everything, while they studied the human brain to see how it worked because they were fascinated by our biology. These humans spent countless eons with these aliens because the aliens had discovered the secret to immortality. So as long as they were with them, the humans would never die. And then, after the studies were complete, the humans were sent back to Earth. But nobody believed their wild stories, and the planet was no longer a place they could recognize, both because of the eons they spent on the alien homeworld, and because they were taken when human civilization had barely begun. So they were reduced to madmen, wandering the streets, shouting what seemed like crazy nonsense. Nobody believed them, except for a young man named John IMDb, who realized that these were people of great wisdom and learning. And so he gathered them all together at his headquarters, at IMDb.com headquarters, where to this day they live in a hermetically sealed room. And every once in a while, an intern is sent in to converse with them and write down what they've learned about the secrets of the universe and, advanced sciences. And then those are brought back outside where John IMDb throws out everything that could be useful to humanity and keeps only the summaries for movies that they imagine that have been written.
That's a bummer.
I'm just going to take a wild guess here. They also kill the interns? In most of your stories, the interns die. Oh.
No, the interns are actually totally fine on this one. I mean, it's a little unpleasant because these people don't have social skills, but it's not dangerous.
That makes sense. Is it? Yeah, it's like, are they in a pool? You said they're hermetically sealed, but like, does that mean they're like in little plastic bags, or are they all in one little
just
zone
a room,
together?
It's like one of the quarantine rooms. You got to go through a process to get in and out, but it's just like a nice room. It's like a little hotel.
Are they having sex in there? I
mean, they might be.
Probably. Yeah.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Maybe that's why everything's such a disaster recently with these summaries, They're not even focused on the summaries anymore. They're just getting busy and stuff, and it's become a real problem.
That's a pretty good...
Follows Riley. That's what it is. I don't care, they said, as they got right into a big pile again.
Well, I have those predictions from the humans who have learned from the super advanced race of aliens right here before me, and we don't have a follows Riley here. I'll tell you that.
Okay,
all right, that's good.
It's fine. It's one of those weird ones where it's only really like one thing about the movie instead of the whole movie.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a fine one sentence.
Okay.
DJ,
as last week's loser.
Yeah, I'll let you go first.
Okay. I'm gonna say a girl teams up with a bunch of imaginary friends and helps them find their purpose and learn something about herself along the way. There you go.
Okay.
That's
Oh, and
unfortunately-
imaginary friends : ifs or something like, you know. Yeah, but yeah, as implied because of the stupid title.
It's unfortunately similar to what I was going to say.
Yeah, well, you know, because it was right, and then you're on the right track. So
That could be it.
go crazy.
I'll never tell.
A young girl must overcome a tragedy by helping to reunite lost imaginary friends with new children.
Is that what she's doing?
I mean,
Well,
it's
It's
one thing she's
unclear.
It's what the movie says she's doing at one point.
Yeah.
doing. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Neither of you did that well.
Uh-oh. Might be time for a certain game.
God.
I feel like I could pick somebody, but it'd be a squeaker.
Ooh, I love a good squeaker.
Ooh, TJ loves a good squeaker. I don't love a good squeaker. I like a good,
I
a
would
clean victory.
I would rather Diggins pick the squeaker than do the tie-breaking game because I'm going to lose the tie-breaking game. There's
Well,
just
of course.
Well, that settles it then. We're going to do the tiebreaker game.
All right, hooray. I mean, it could be other stuff. It doesn't need to be the game, but this is a good one for the game.
It doesn't have to be the game, but I don't.
But like we've never had a better movie for it. Okay, can I get the because Nando is the GOAT when it comes to this game. Can I at least
I'm
get
not
some
the
kind
goat.
of
I feel like I created it, but I think I'm okay at it. Compared to Diggins, we've never gone against each other, so it might be.
Yeah,
I
this would have
feel
been
like
weak.
Nando and I are not like amazing, untouchable gods at this, like you imply. I think you just are incapable of remembering anything. So the fact that we can say something we've seen before in our lives ever is astounding to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you want
Can
like a
I,
handicap or something?
Do I have to say the character's name from the movie they're in?
That has never been a requirement. Oh, wait. The other movie, yes. In this movie, no.
I can't be like, if I were as an example, if I were to be like, Aquafina from Ocean's 8, you know, the one that's like the shifty pickpocket and stuff like that. I'm sure she has a name, but you know, I can't remember that. Like, Diggins, you remember that name?
Not off the top of my head. I could probably conjure it if I thought about it.
I feel like it's the spirit of the game to just be like that they're... And how's this? What if it's like, if the other person can say the name of that character, then it's like a steal or something.
But
so
then
it's
we're
not
just
even
gonna be
like...
describing movies we kind of know they're in and be like, typecast as the tall one who everyone likes.
That just makes it too easy.
No, that was a very specific description. I feel like that was like I gave.
Well, then what's the line, DJ? What's the line? How specific the description is before it counts?
Diggins gets to decide because he's the judge or whatever.
I guess it's up to you, Diggins. Yeah, we'll see.
I think names are a concrete detail that a person can remember in which there is no room for argument. You either remember it or you don't.
Dumb.
And there's like a bazillion guys in this, so I feel like we could.
There's so many guys.
Go a couple rounds at least.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we could go at least like 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say for you, DJ. For you, I will also count it if you tell me the name of a voice actor in this movie and the name of their character in this movie.
Oh, fuck
Good
off.
luck.
There's no way. I think I got one. All right, well, I'm going to make Nando... Is it better if I go first? Who has the advantage? The person goes first or... I guess, no, I will go first.
Well, remember, you can take movie franchises off the board. So
That's right.
I think going first is an advantage.
I'm going to go first then.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Sam Rockwell as Justin Hammer in like Iron Man 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
Well...
What? What?
He is in this, right?
Yeah. What?
He's not.
Yeah, he is. He's the superhero one.
Yeah, he's the little Poughkeepsie.
He is.
Okay, God. Yeah,
that's like that. Oh wait, pause. I'm parking the car. Diggins, he did this last week with the pole vaulting, and it's like, yeah, that's the high jump.
Man,
oh,
we're gonna get into that.
Pole vaulting and high jump are the same thing, blah, blah, blah. Diggins just likes to figure out where I'm wrong and then gaslight me. Like, Sam Rockwell's not in the movie. This is pole vaulting high jump all over again. I demand an apology, sir.
This time, I was just trying to make you upset and was not a real thing I was saying. Secondly, do we really want to go into wrong things we said last week, DJ? Because Toy Story 4 is right there.
Listen, I feel like my character on this show, if I can break down the wall, is that I am often wrong. Wrong is my wheelhouse. I live in wrong. You're the smart, educated one who apparently didn't know that.
You're the one who says that. I have been very clear this whole time that I am stupid.
You know some of the countries better than us, though. That's your main thing.
You know all the countries. You could sing that stupid Animaniacs song.
I don't know it offhand, but I do know the name of every country if you give me a minute.
See, I saw a video. I didn't watch it, but I saw the title of the video. Apparently, the idea of how many countries there even are is up for grabs. Some people say there's 300. Some people say there's like 180. Yeah.
What you do and do not count as a country is also kind of contingent. Like,
as long as you don't count that one country we're not allowed to count, you know? That one country. We all know what it is. Yeah. That could be a couple of them these days. But yeah. So, DJ, you said Justin Hammer. That's your one, right?
Yeah, with Sam Rockwell, who is absolutely in this movie.
Sure.
Yes, he is.
Insane.
I will say, then I'll take the other pretty obvious one. I'll say John Krasinski's Jim Halpert from The Office, a show that I have seen.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. Well, now we're running up against it. No.
Yeah, I got the one.
There's no way. You remember one other person.
I must. Aquafina. Oh my god. Just because he's in so much shit. Kung Fu Panda 4. The little post sidekick one.
Need a name, my man. We established this.
No, I know this because we just did this movie.
Wait, what are you? I mean, Aquafina's come up in these before, right? Like, we've done Aquafina. Don't you know that we have a couple of Aquafina characters that should be like on lock?
Like, what is all the MCU out, or it's just Iron Man?
Oh yeah, no, all the MCU is out.
All the MCU is out.
I mean,
I can't get like another one.
No, those are the rules.
Just like one little. She's a little psychic in Kung Fu Panda 4.
That's not a name.
Oh, I know. I know her name. We just did this.
I forgot about that. I don't even remember. What was she? Like, what's her species?
She was a fox.
She was a fox. Yeah, that's right.
She was a thief. Because we talked about this. They're all thieves. They're all foxes. Was it? Oh God, I want to say. Was it Jean?
I need a final answer.
Jen. I think it was Jen.
That's correct.
Oh. Wow, look at that.
He says it enough.
Yeah. I'm going to stick around with Aquafina for a second and say Scuttle from The Little Mermaid. She is in that.
That's true. That's where I thought DJ was going because it's so obvious and easy to remember. And
it's the one he got last time, I think.
Yeah, I think
so too. All right. Oh, you know what? I got another Aquafina on lock. This is easy. Raya and the Last Dragon, Sisu.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct.
Very good. Okay, let's see. Who else is in this? I'm going to say, who else is like, okay. Oh, wait, I know what his name is. I guess I'll give myself some time to think about this one. And then I'll say, Phoebe Waller-Bridge is Helena something. I'm going to say Helena Shaw, maybe, in the Indiana Jones movie that just came out.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever I hated. Well, not hated. We all thought it was fine. It's definitely Helena. But, like...
let's double check
I feel like the last name was like a main character, but like a new main character. The one played by the guy from Captain America and stuff. So I don't remember what that guy's name was, but... I feel
it is Helena.
Is it Helena Shaw? Or did I make that up?
It doesn't say it on IMDb what the last name was. It just says Helena.
That's okay. That's probably a famous person out and in the world. So everybody, look that up and then just assume that's somebody I also like, I endorse wholeheartedly. But yeah, no, so that's my one.
All right. I'm going to do Brad Pitt Rusty in Ocean's 11. He's in the credits, man.
He's in the credits, which I allowed for Seth Rogen in Kung Fu Panda 4, even though it was only archival noises, so I guess I'll count it.
He's
even
Keith.
Though the joke is that he's not actually in the movie.
He's Keith. I don't know what you want from me.
I said I'm allowing it.
All right, that's fair.
So wait, who did you give him?
Rusty.
You get Rusty. Okay, I want to do another one of him. He is that same wonderful actor. Bradley Pitt plays Achilles in Troy.
Mm-hmm. He's the same wonderful actor, according to his ex-wife and his daughter.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. You know, that's who can keep track all these days. You know.
All right. What else do we want to do? I want to do like a George Clooney, but like I don't have like one to conjure.
I honestly, is he in this? I can't remember.
He's a spaceman.
Oh yeah, that's right. I kind of remember that because it's like, oh yeah, he's in Gravity. Yeah.
It's like again, barely in it. I'm just gonna pull an easy one. Can we just do Brad Pitt, Fight Club, Tyler Durden? Take that off the shelf right there.
But is he actually Tyler Durden?
That's a great point. That's a great point.
I'll give it to you.
That's a great point. Okay. Let's see. I feel like Brad Pitt's in a lot of stuff, especially when we were growing up. Like Brad Pitt was everywhere because he was like the sexiest man alive, and he was in the middle of all the crazy relationships and stuff. And I gotta be able to remember more than one or two of his. Besides the Ocean movie he was in, what else does he do? I feel like I like him and stuff too. I think he's usually pretty funny. Oh well, I'll skip him for now. Let's do. I mean, does Ryan Reynolds Deadpool count? Are we saying that's a different universe so far?
The movie has not come out that links the universes yet, so I say it counts.
So I'll take Ryan Reynolds Deadpool.
All right. I'm gonna do one that like I love pulling from. I think I pulled from a few of these last time. I'm gonna do Steve Carell, a 40-year-old virgin, Andy.
That is his name, right?
I am gonna check.
Okay.
I certainly don't remember.
I haven't seen it in a minute, but I have a feeling you're right.
I've also never seen
Andy.
it. It is.
You've never seen 40-year-old virgin's great. It's like
Classic,
really funny.
Man. So
yeah.
good.
Do you think it would be good to revisit? Do you think it maybe had its time and
no.
place?
Okay, I don't want to say it ages well, but it doesn't age poorly.
Yeah, I think it ages better than you'd expect for a movie like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because it's about like dumb guys who want to have sex and like talking about sex, but not in a way that's like criminal, just in a way that's like those guys aren't great guys. Yeah. But like that's fine, you know.
There's cringe, of course, and
oh yeah. But at no point does anything. There's no like Revenge of the Nerds moment or something in there.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
I was actually just talking about the fact that Kevin Hart is in it.
That's true.
He's not
Kevin Hart. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
He's got that one
not
scene
in like
where
a main role.
Yeah, he's the one that's like he tries to get the discount from the guy and says the N-word a bazillion times.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. That'll be a good. Well, I don't know that character's name, but that'd be like a good one to pull from at some point.
Kevin Hart's also not in If. I'm gonna give you that one for free.
Damn.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, I'll do a wait, who did you just Steve Carell?
Steve Carell.
I can do a Steve Carell. I'll say which one do I like better? He's Brick Tamlin in the Anchormans.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
Classic guy.
Yeah, let's just clear out the Steve Carell file, at least as far as I'm concerned. A Gru, Despicable Me.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, another Steve Carell then. He is Evan in Bruce Almighty.
I was thinking if I would count this or not, and because you said Bruce Almighty, I will.
100%. I even think, I don't remember his full name, but I think it's Evan Baxter. I don't know why. It kind of sticks in my head. But yeah. I could be wrong about that.
Is that every Steve Carell movie?
Yeah, he's only done a couple. I mean, he does a million of the Gru one, so why would he even try to do another one?
He's done a ton of stuff.
Yeah, no, he's pretty prolific. I can come up with some last names and stuff for characters, but I don't know some of his characters' first names.
Oh my god! You know what I know he was in, but I just don't know the name.
It is Evan Baxter.
It is Evan Baxter. Okay.
Oh wow!
There you go.
He was in that stupid Space Force show as a general.
Yeah.
Like, fuck if I know what the name of that is.
Yeah, that's a tricky one.
I'd need a name.
I think. Oh man, I'm gonna get off Steve Carell because I just like don't have because like I remember like oh he was in Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, but like I don't remember his name.
So there's a Steve Carell I'm shocked hasn't come up.
I've got a couple of Steve Carells in my back pocket, but I'm not.
Well, I'm not there yet. I'm trying to think who was like in this movie. We haven't said a George Clooney yet, but I'm like, what are George Clooney characters?
I mean, sometimes they're the name of the movie, so that's not helpful.
Like, I know that's all the ones that are coming to head. I'm like, shit, that's all the things.
Michael Clayton,
like,
Michael Clayton 2, Michael Clayton 3. Like it just the list keeps going.
Oh well, you know what? I guess this is weird, but like it's the only way I can figure out to fit this in. George Clooney as Batman in The Flash.
Correct. He is in The Flash. Yeah, he is.
That is true. That does happen.
So squeeze that in.
I don't think we've done we haven't done a Star Wars yet, have we? Unless you believe that fan theory that Indiana Jones and Star Wars are the same. Because of like one drawing of R2-D2 or something. I'm going to say Fiona Shaw plays Marva and Andor. And she's the grandma in this.
Who is she in this movie?
Grandma.
She's a grandma, yeah.
Yeah. She had a couple things. Like I feel like she's one of those actors that I never really like. I'm sure I saw her and stuff, but until Andor, I was like, oh, her. Now I see her in everything.
She's a character actress, you know? She does a lot of little stuff.
Fuck. Who? There's got to be like way more Ryan Reynolds, right?
Oh yeah.
It's way more like everyone.
He's in a lot of stuff, but it's like, what is his name in Amityville Horror or whatever?
Free Guy. That's like one where it's
it's in the title.
Yeah.
I feel like he does animated stuff, right? That's like gotta be something. Oh, well, no, I guess he would be. Like, unless you know his Detective Pikachu's name. That one doesn't help either.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta give me a name besides Detective Pikachu.
Sad Dad.
And I'm trying to think, like, who else in this movie? Like, Sebastian Maniscalco's in this movie.
Oh, my God. Sebastian Maniscalco is in this movie.
Jesus. Does he have a James Corden-esque contract with the studio heads? He gets a little speaking role in every movie now?
Maybe he's, like, really nice and everyone loves to work with him. Or maybe they know that if you put him in a movie, the Italian grandfathers will go see it or whatever, you know.
That could be it, too. Although his own movie didn't do so hot, so...
Oh, I didn't know he did a movie. What was it?
It was... You'll never believe it, Nando. What? It was about being kind of embarrassed by your Italian dad.
Robert De Niro was the dad.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. I'm gonna like, open a new category. Let's do Emily Blunt, the Fall Guy, and her name is. I can do this. Hold on.
I forgot she was in that. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I forgot she was in this. I couldn't name which character she is in here for $1 million.
I'll give you $1 million if you do it in one.
Yeah, I don't think I could. I mean, I'd have to take a guess at a couple of them that I didn't remember who did their voice. I guess the main, I would imagine it's probably
if was Emily Blunt?
Yeah. Do you remember?
No idea.
Is she the gummy bear? Probably.
Nope. So you don't get $1 million. You didn't do it in one.
That's what happens, you know.
Anyway, the Fall Guy, her name is Jodie.
That is true.
What was that, DJ?
Jodie, the Fall Guy.
Oh.
Yep, he's right.
Yeah, okay.
See, DJ, you see how easy it is to remember names?
They're movies we did like 3 months ago. Not even. Fall Guy we did last month.
Nobody said they had
max.
to be old movies.
No, I know. Well, this one's easy. This one is a very deep well of characters.
That's fair. Trying to think. I'm pretty sure the name of the character in that Sam Rockwell plays in The Bad Guys is the Big Bad Wolf, or just Wolf. But it's like that's how he introduces himself in the trailer.
Oh, well, let's see what his name is in that movie, according to IMDb.com. He's credited as Wolf, so
Wolf.
I'll count
Okay.
it. I'll count it.
Because like I feel like when that trailer starts, you're like, oh, they're like all the ones from those, and then immediately it's like, and he's a snake. And it's like, okay, that would have been a movie we could have made, but we didn't. We're not bothering. Okay, fine.
I have another one for Diggins that so Emily Blunt in Edge of Tomorrow. I have no idea what her first name is, but I know her last name because Tom Cruise shouts it a lot.
Yeah, I feel like that counts.
I'll take last name.
I believe it's Vertasky.
Yeah.
Because he says that shit a lot.
I remember that
Let's
name.
see.
Couldn't tell you her first name. I couldn't tell you.
Nancy. No.
If I had, can I get like double points if I get it right? Or like if I get the first name that I don't know.
I've got to guess at the first name, but it's just because it seems kind of exotic.
It's Vertasky, right? Like,
that sounds right. Like it rings a bell. I don't remember it that well, but I feel like it's probably right.
I just remember Tom Cruise being like, Vertasky!
Yeah.
Just says it a lot.
I'm trying to find it. It's not on IMDb. Her last name is Vertasky.
There you go.
Okay.
What do you think her first name
Can you
is?
tell me her first name? I'm never gonna get it.
I was gonna say Amelia. Oh, right, yeah.
Rita. Okay.
Rita.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good one.
That tracks.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you last name. It's not in the movie title or anything.
Thank you. Vertasky of Tomorrow.
And it gets,
not
it's
yet.
Like Vertasky is an easy name.
And that wasn't one of the titles they changed it to, midweek during the showings. Was it like Vertasky and Ethan or whatever?
I don't think they ever changed it during the showing. True. They changed it on DVD for some reason.
Yeah. They were pretty bad at that. They keep saying, I feel like every week I see an article that's like, they're going to make another one, you guys. I don't know if people just keep hassling this director and he's just like, I don't know, maybe, but it keeps coming up.
I mean, it's a great movie.
Yeah, it rules. It also seems like one of those movies you can only make once, but, it's worth a shot, I guess. Okay, let's see. Who else in this? I had another Fiona Shaw, but I can't remember what it was. I feel like I should have a couple of guys like
I'll say there's some big names here that no one has said yet.
Yeah.
It's a deep movie is the problem.
It is. There's a lot of people in it.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
It's very deep.
Well,
Stop provoking.
It's at least like 10, like all the ifs. The ifs get their own credit sequence.
It's got a deep bench. I wouldn't say it's a deep movie.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
How about this? I don't know if this counts. Can I do can Drunk Uncle be someone that I call on? Famous Bobby Moynihan character, Drunk Uncle. I'm sure he's credited.
Is that what he's credited
as?
No,
you know what? He's probably credited as crew member, but I know something he's credited as for sure. He's credited as Fievel. No, Forville, excuse me. Forville, the orphan, little orphan boy on Comedy Bang Bang, which was a show that I'm pretty sure he had at least 2 episodes, at least 1 appearance on that.
That's Bobby Moynihan?
Yeah.
Bobby Moynihan.
Would have been like in the mid 2010s, probably 2005, 15, 16.
Well, right now I'm just trying to find him on this dang cast list.
I know, it's probably pretty low, if you ask me.
There he is. All right, so Forville?
Yeah. He's not even Fiveville. He's Fourville. That's how the character introduces himself. He's a funny character because he's a little orphan, and then he also wants to stab everybody. That's the Comedy Bang Bang show was so funny. Can you not find it?
I do, in fact, see a credit for Fourville here on his IMDb.
Yeah. People that can't, I don't know where you find it because it was on IFC, but that Comedy Bang Bang show was so good.
All right, I have one. I'm reaching into the questionable pile again. Okay, so Emily Blunt is in the Into the Woods movie.
Oh yeah,
I believe she's just the baker's wife.
yeah. I feel like that's got to be right.
Like
That is the credit. That is the credit.
Cool. Okay,
Oh, DJ's so bad at this. He can't possibly remember anything.
So
It's a death sentence.
We're doing a great job. I do feel like we're like, I don't want to say we're running low on Clooney's, but I feel like we got more Clooney's and Pitts to pick from for sure.
Again, there's still big names here that nobody has even said.
Yeah, I mean, are there? I mean, I believe you, but like, I don't know who they are. Are they names that if you watch the movie you would definitely recognize, or are they people that it's like they had 2 lines?
More on that second
Okay,
one
yeah.
than the first
So,
one.
And I remember we went over all these people in a segment 2 or 3 weeks ago. Not all their roles, but who was in this. So yeah. Okay. I have a couple that I'm kind of holding on to. All right, how about this? Ryan Reynolds is in a little movie called Red Notice. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. He plays an art thief named Nolan Booth.
Ooh, that's wow.
That's right.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it, so I don't know.
You really never saw Red Notice?
No, I listened to your guys' podcast.
Oh,
I forgot.
you gotta watch it. You're like the only
person
person that hasn't seen it. It's everybody's watching it all the time. Put it on your second screen. Yeah. Well, don't do it now, because it'll, maybe hurt the internet. But
yeah, I can't believe that you haven't been ostracized at the virtual water cooler at work.
Yeah,
because you haven't seen Red Notice.
All right, I have one I've been like hanging on to that I just gotta get out of my head. All right, so George Clooney, he is in South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
Oh yeah,
which is the animated movie, and I believe it's just ER Doctor.
That would make sense.
I do not think he has a name.
Well, we'll find out in just a moment when I look it up on IMDb.com.
Or it's like Doctor. It's something in the realm of like Doctor. Yeah, there's like the guy does not have a name. I'll like stamp that.
He does have a name.
I bet it's his name from the ER show. Maybe they like tried to be like, oh, it's like him in ER, but I don't know what the fuck that guy's name is either.
He has like a name.
He has a name. He's a doctor something.
Is it something stupid?
Yeah, you know what?
Is it like Doctor?
No, I think there's a line where someone says something to him. They're like, Dr. Blank, we've got this patient. So technically that would probably be in there.
Does Nando know? Because I kind of just want Diggins to tell me.
Oh, no, I don't know this one. Not at all.
Can you just like tell me? I just want to know.
I'm not going to tell you until the game's over.
Well, I'm not going to use it. So it's like, I just want to know.
I honestly don't know how to pronounce this. I feel like it must be some kind of joke.
Yeah.
Because it's Gouache. Gouake?
Oh.
Goosh?
They probably like just like said something like stupid. Huh. It was probably a dumb South Park joke.
That's pretty weird.
Oh man, I don't want to lose again.
I mean, I will point out you've already said a wrong thing, so I'm actually being very generous by letting you even try.
Oh, is that what I'm out already?
No, I don't think you're for that.
Do it.
This is hard.
This is tricky. Yeah, we're getting down to it. I mean, there's a lot of them, but
am I allowed to say like?
Almost certainly the answer will be no, but please continue.
Ryan Reynolds, Green Lantern, Hal Jordan.
Oh, sure.
Why would that not be allowed?
Yeah, I don't think we've done that yet.
The title is the thing.
You said Hal Jordan. That's not the title.
All right.
All right. I just remember
you couldn't say Green Lantern, but you could say Hal Jordan.
All right.
I'm going to say Brad Pitt is in Guy Ritchie's Snatch, and I believe he plays a character named Mikey the Pikey. an Irish boxing guy or something.
Well, we'll find out in just a moment.
Yeah. Well, you don't have 18 tabs open with everybody's IMDb and just easily searching through them like you're fucking Ozymandias.
I actually do.
Pretty cool. That's what the people love.
Oh, that's producer. That's why it's not in here. Actor is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Say that name for me again.
It's the movie Snatch, Guy Ritchie Snatch, and his character's name is Mikey the Pikey.
Could you spell?
I don't know.
Mikey?
I can't. It's probably spelled like the Irishy way, like Mickey, but I believe in the movie it is pronounced in a rhyming way with the word pikey.
All right, I'll take your word for it then, because it says Mickey O'Neill here, but I could see that being pronounced Mikey.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's probably what it is.
I haven't seen Snatch, so I don't know.
It's okay. It's one of those ones where you're like, hey, we're all having fun here, weren't they? It was before we got tired of Guy Ritchie and started making Aladdins. You know?
How dare you?
Yeah. I forgot Ryan Reynolds was in Green Lantern, though. That's like crazy that yeah.
Right. Now, am I allowed to do, how much is this crossover? Like, okay, Ryan Reynolds, X-Men Origins Wolverine, Deadpool?
That is a different continuity.
Is it, though? Different from...
No, but they do... No, it's the same continuity. They do the jokes about it in the Deadpool movies.
But it's like he goes and kills a different guy. Like, Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool kills the Deadpool of X-Men Origins Wolverine.
But I think that's him killing himself in the past.
But that never happened to that Deadpool.
He was dumb.
It's a different
right? Like,
person.
he didn't have that experience. He never did that.
But how could he go... How could he go into the... Well, but then he does also kill Ryan Reynolds, accepting the role of Green Lantern. He's clearly going into different universes.
Yeah, you gave me the Green Lantern one.
In the Marvel Cinematic Universe time travel, it's like branching timelines create different universes. So I assume he went to a different universe, to get to do
I feel like this one's valid. I feel like this one does not break the franchise singularity rule.
Even if we say post-credit joke for that, even then, there's the thing when, like, Kelsey Grammer Beast shows up in the Deadpool 2, I think. Deadpool 1? I don't remember.
Whatever, yeah.
He's not in that. He's in the Marvels.
Sorry, the other Beast.
Oh, Nicholas Hoult in Deadpool 2. Yeah, a bunch of them are in Deadpool 2. Because that's where all of them are there in, like, in a room. It doesn't make any sense.
I'll leave it up to the judge, but I think there's a good case for this one being legal.
I think it's fine.
Well, since Nando's allowing it, I'll allow it, but I don't like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. I'm on thin ice, right?
Yeah.
Not thin ice, counselor.
Watch yourself. I mean, this is tricky because, like, there must be others that I'm forgetting. I should know more Sam Rockwell's. I watch pretty much everything he's in, but also, not all of it though. What shows up in here? It's played a role that I recognize the name of. I'm gonna say, okay, this is kind of this one. I feel pretty good about this one. I don't know the first name, but I believe in what's that movie's called? The Big Short. Steve Carell's character's last name is Baum, B-A-U-M. I don't remember what his first name is. It's maybe Harold or something. I don't know.
Let's find out, shall we?
Can I take the steal? Because I think I do know his first name.
If he's right, then I counted you for Edge of Tomorrow, so I don't feel like...
But he didn't know the first name. I'm not saying not count it, but I don't know. Like, can I give
But I didn't give him the chance to steal. I just told him that I just said you were right. Like, you got it.
Fine. I just need every edge I can get.
It is Baum.
Something Baum. What is the first name?
Michael Baum?
No, because it's Michael Berry, right? That's the other one.
Right.
So I think his name is
wrong anyway, DJ.
Yeah, it's a name. I feel like it's longer, like Harold Baum or something. I can't remember what it is.
What is it?
It's Mark.
Oh, other M name.
Another M. Yeah, that's how they get you.
All right. I guess is this gonna count if I go Brad Pitt, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, John Smith?
It's in the name. I mean, it's in the title. It's in the title.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There are actors in this movie that I am trying to remember. I'm trying to look at that big credits picture.
Like I said, there are several here who haven't even been mentioned.
Okay, so I'm trying to go. Like, who was the banana?
And there are some who have been mentioned, and you guys just didn't do anything for.
I forgot about the banana. Oh yeah, that's gonna get me quite far.
Is it really? Did you just win off the banana now?
The banana's a very prolific actor. I can't remember. Yes, I can't remember what. I'm trying to remember the names of some characters that isn't the name of the thing, but I'm sure there's a bazillion of them.
The marshmallow was John Krasinski. I don't know anything Phoebe Waller.
The marshmallow was John Krasinski?
Yeah. It was, yeah.
Wow. See, I turned this movie off as quickly as I possibly could. And I missed all these credits.
Well, whoa, Nando, let's not spoil our opinions.
Yeah. I really shot myself in the foot there.
People got to listen to the full 45 minutes of this game before they get to know what we
I was going
thought.
to say, this is at some point we just have to be like, all right, it's whatever Diggins said the squeaker was, right? Because this can only go on for so long.
Well, DJ, I actually want this one to go on as long as it takes because I want conclusive evidence that it's not as hard as you pretend it is.
I mean, so far, this has got to be the furthest the game has gone. And I mean, this is definitely the
going back to my
furthest
train of thought.
a movie has had opportunities.
The gummy bear was someone.
That's true. The gummy bear was someone.
The Bubbles Aquafina, the Spaceman was George Clooney, Brad Pitt was Keith. Gosh, what were even the other friends?
What were the other friends?
There's a unicorn. There's some kind of unicorn.
Is that one Emily Blunt?
Yeah.
Okay.
$1 million was for your first guess, which was gummy bear. So you get nothing for guessing that.
That's what you got to know for next time, you know? Maybe someone else will ask me that question, and now I'm ready.
Oh, man. This is
Frankly, I'm amazed that John Krasinski had the restraint to not make Emily Blunt the mom at the start.
Yeah. Maybe she was like, I don't want to show my face. Maybe a voice only, please.
Do I be a hero and take the L?
If you want to take the coward's way, if you want to be a failure and a coward, then yeah, you could.
Brad Pitt, he's done so many movies that I love.
So many.
So many.
Oh, I have a Brad Pitt. He is in Inglourious Basterds as Lieutenant Aldo Rain.
Yeah, that's right.
Apache.
Forgot about that. Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, Nando, who's the banana? Because then I can get more.
I'm going to save the banana as long as I can.
You're going to save the banana?
Yeah, I'm going to save the banana. I'm going to say, I'm not positive about this. I'm pretty sure this is the character's last name because I think he's a real person. In Foxcatcher, I believe Steve Carell's character's last name is DuPont because he is part of the humongous DuPont family.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yep. John DuPont.
So.
Wow, with a name like John.
That's what drove him to do it. None of the Foxcatchery stuff. He was just like, I have to shoot somebody. My name is so uncool. And look what happened. Wealthiest person convicted of murder so far.
Really?
It says that at the end of the movie. I watched it. It's okay.
I think there is like a wealth cap on how wealthy you can be. Where eventually you stop being allowed to be convicted of murder.
And he was such a weirdo that like he was really testing the limits of what you could get away with. But I'm sure they tried so hard. But he just went around, picked up a gun, and shot a guy. And when I did it, and they were like, "We were trying. We could have gotten you off."
I think the limit is actually lower than he was. He just he refused to play ball.
Yeah. Robert Durst chopped up all those people. He got away.
Allegedly.
I mean, OJ.
That's true.
Couldn't find the killer because they were rich.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This might be it. I think this might be the end of the line for me.
You've said that like the past 4 times.
I know, but I really can't think of anything else.
Unless
there's more Clooney's. Is there more Clooney's?
There's definitely
Clooney's
more.
been in many movies, DJ. What do you want me to say to that?
Yeah. I don't know too many. I don't have too many Clooney's kicking around. I know one, actually. But it's not a very popular one.
Do you want me to set a timer?
Yeah, maybe this is a good time for the timer.
What about movies that are coming out? What about those?
I guess so.
If you get the name right.
I hate that he's Batman and Batman. I hate that he's Fantastic Mr. Fox and Fantastic Mr. Fox. I hate him so much. I hate that he's Danny Ocean in Ocean's 11.
Well, Ocean's 11 is long gone. Yeah.
Ocean's 11. Anyway, I put a minute on the clock here, as you can see.
I didn't say Ocean's. What did I say? Ocean's.
You did Brad Pitt for Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This is not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. That I don't know things.
Yeah.
And Nando gets to do the stupid banana.
Yeah. The banana's going to be really helpful. If you hadn't said it, I still had one that I think I would have been pretty safe with, but
30 seconds.
Pretty sure I could go for like another 10 rounds with just the banana.
Okay, Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt, save me again. Save me again. Save me again. Fuck.
15 seconds.
No, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this.
10, 9.
Don't
8.
stop. Don't count me down. That's just pressure. Counting down is like the meanest thing that a person could do.
All right. Well, you wasted the last 10 seconds saying that. So that's it.
No, wait, hold on. It's not over. It's not over.
What's the point of setting a timer if it's not over?
Oh, I got a Brad Pitt.
What is it?
He's Billy Bean in Moneyball.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking A.
He is in that.
I'm gonna take my headphones off. Like from now, it's too much pressure. It's
Too much pressure to hear us?
It's you're counting down. You're turning me into a freaking timer. It's not helpful.
It is. His name is Billy Bean in Moneyball.
Very good.
Nando has this stupid banana.
I'm not even
thing.
going to use the banana because I'm going to use one that I think it's weird we didn't use before. But we haven't said any Sebastian Maniscalco characters, right?
Nope.
Not
You
even
brought him up and then never used him.
Yeah, not even Spike from Super Mario Brothers, whatever that
did
movie's
not.
called. All right, well that's mine then. Yeah, the only Sebastian Maniscalco character I know, besides Uncle Vinny or something, probably. That's my guess.
Oh my god, is that his? Wait,
I don't know.
Uncle
I haven't
Vinny
seen
in
the
that
movie.
movie
I
or
don't know.
whatever.
I didn't even know the movie existed.
I mean, it's not about him being an uncle. It's about him being a son, so probably not.
Yeah, but he probably still is an uncle in it, you know? He's probably got a brother who's got it more together than
What's the name
him.
of that movie?
Kids, you know.
Well,
I wanna do
DJ?
this. Oh, it was oh my god, I saw the show so many times. I think it was it About My Father?
That was
Oh,
the name of the movie. Yeah. Do you know his
Nice.
character's name in that movie?
Uncle
I mean,
Vinny. We
I'm
already
just-
said it.
I'm just gonna guess like it's Sebastian, right?
Let's see.
It must be.
He is named Sebastian
Of
in
course
About
it
My
is.
Father.
Of course the movie's about my father. Me, Sebastian Maniscalco.
Yeah,
Wow.
so that counts.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to say, okay, this is like, I'm really stretching here because I really don't want to use the banana. So I can give you the first name of the character George Clooney plays in Gravity. Would that be acceptable?
If it's
as an
right.
answer? Yeah, I'm pretty sure his character's named Matthew. I kind of remember that. Astronaut Matthew, how about that? Or something.
Let's see.
Gravity was a big
It
movie.
says Matt, but I'll count it.
Yeah. I kind of remember her screaming his name a lot and going like, my brain was like, that's my name.
On IMDb, he's listed as Matt Kowalski.
That is not my name. Yeah, on the right track though. But yeah,
It's right initials.
The Tarantino movies aren't a singular universe, right?
I mean, it depends on how you ask, but I don't. Well,
Technically, kind of, maybe, but
I think the one you're gonna pull from, if you believe what they say, is.
Yeah, I feel like this is more like film theories than like a real shared universe.
I guess so.
Well, we'll see what happens. So, Brad Pitt was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
He was in that
with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh,
yeah.
And Margot Robbie. Was Margot Robbie in that movie?
Yeah,
briefly.
She was.
Yeah.
She got to show her dirty feet on screen because we've let
Because-
Tarantino get away with it for too long.
No one will
He thinks
stop
he's
him.
untouchable.
and he is clearly because he's still going.
I think his name is Cliff in that movie.
That sounds right.
Open. I think it's Cliff.
It sounds right, but let's see if it is right.
I'm gonna make Nando use the banana.
It is, in fact, Cliff Booth.
Cliff Booth.
I was gonna guess that was his name. Now I will say, because I'm not gonna pull on that, but I do believe that part of the theory of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is that it exists in the Tarantino-verse where Hitler was killed, and that is why ultraviolence in those movies is like celebrated, is because it's all the World War II. I don't know if Quentin Tarantino has said that, but I've heard it enough that I feel like it's.
Yeah, I don't think he has, and I think that is just like that'd be like saying you can't use any Pixar movies.
No,
that stupid theory that all the Pixar movies are the same.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ding him on it. I'm just like,
now there are
sure that is what they say.
There are some unquestionably connected Tarantino movies,
true.
but those are not two of them. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to count it.
That's
So I mean, I will count it as being correct.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Okay. Oh man. I don't remember. Do I remember what?
Is it time to break the emergency glass on the banana?
I don't want to, because I feel like I've got to know another Ryan Reynolds, right? He's Van Wilder in the movie Van Wilder. He's in a definitely maybe Green Lantern.
Again, there's one. I mean, not a Ryan Reynolds thing, but there's a thing I'm shocked hasn't come up.
Is it amongst an actor we haven't said yet, or is it amongst an actor we've said?
It's amongst an actor you've said.
And it doesn't count in any of the cinematic universes we've already said?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Let me say, I'm shocked because of who we are, not because of what it is.
Oh. Bunch of weirdos.
Indeed.
I feel like, there's got to be another Ryan Reynolds I'm like just like completely blanking on. Free Guy. He's he's in like certain movies as a character who's probably named Ryan Reynolds, but I'm not going to take those yet. There's one actor who I know is in this, and like I remember very vividly, but I cannot remember a single character he's ever played in anything. So I'm not going to bother with him. I'm going to say... God, how is there not more Jims, too? He's so popular. We all like him so much.
Uh-oh, is it time for a timer, Fernando?
No, it's rude. You shouldn't do a timer. We should just make the audience wait in silence. If I can ratchet the pressure up for Nando, I've conjured up two, and one is going to make Nando very upset. One will make him upset.
That's fair. Okay. And I like Steve Carell a lot. Like I've seen a lot of his movies, and I really don't want. I'm looking at the timer right now. I'm in the 40s. If anybody's curious, I really want to not use that one.
Diggins, how much high jumping do you plan to
seconds.
watch of the upcoming Olympics? Are you gonna watch a lot
I'm
of
going to
it?
watch the same amount of Olympics I always do, which is 0.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch the beginning when they all walk in their silly costumes, and all the Today Show hosts thirst over some guy, You know,
Oh,
remember
yeah.
that?
Usually from like Tonga or
Yeah, it
something.
was the Tonga guy.
The only part of the Olympics I ever watch is the secret security cam footage of the absolute fuckfest giant orgy the village becomes at night.
Yeah, made with their like special collapsible beds that everybody has to, you know, try really hard to not have sex on.
I demand Nando use the banana.
All
Use the
right,
banana so I can get more outs.
I'll do it. God damn it.
The timer
I feel like
has
an
run
idiot.
out, but since DJ already didn't abide by that, I'm not going to make you.
Yeah, and I fine, I'll do it. The banana is Bill Hader, and Bill Hader played Fear in the first Inside Out movie, and only the first Inside Out movie because he asked for money to be in the second one, and they are a charity apparently. So, yeah.
Well, DJ, ball's in your court.
I gotta say, that does not help a lot.
Really?
Do you know a lot of stuff he's in?
I mean, he's in everything. I feel like it's not about like I just kind of have to remember a couple of things, and I'll be able to remember which like that he was in it, and then go, oh right, yeah, he was in that. But you know,
all right. Well, I had one that I had a thunk on, the Ryan Reynolds. So this is a movie that I don't know if either of you ever heard of, but they played it on Comedy Central a lot. I feel like when I was in like high school and college. It's called Waiting.
Oh,
it was like,
yeah.
It was like, yeah, Justin Long.
Love Waiting.
It was like a movie about waiting. Right. And Ryan Reynolds is in that movie. He's like the grizzled old waiter who teaches Justin Long. I believe his name is Monty.
that sounds right. He also doesn't teach Justin Long. Justin Long works there already. He teaches the other guy who went on to direct the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Oh, right.
John Francis Daley.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Uh,
Yeah.
His name in waiting is indeed Monty.
Nice. Very good.
Was it like Mitch?
The other guy?
Just said,
No. Yeah, the other guy. Like the guy who was trained was like Mitch. It's like,
That's
listen here,
probably
Mitch.
right.
His name was Mitch. Yeah.
Nando, the ball's back in your court. We got a real challengers going on here. This back and forth.
And like,
Diggins, you getting ideas?
ooh, I still haven't seen it.
It's good. I wrecked
Yeah.
it, if you recall.
I remember that. I'm just never in the mood, which is a specific mood to watch challengers.
You know the one.
Yeah. I feel like there's like certain actors that have like
I mean, now you've broken the banana seal. You might as well do more Bill Haters.
Yeah, I'm like trying to think.
honestly, I'm hard
Hater
pressed to think of a
movies.
second one, but I know there's a million of them. I'm hard. Well, here's my problem. I'm keep going through like, you know, franchises and stuff. I'm going, oh no, we've already done that one. And then like, we've already done that one.
I've got a couple Bill Haters. Oh man, the banana was actually very helpful.
It's a
breaking
big,
the
it's, he's
banana
got
seal.
he's got a big like, what's the word? Like filmography, you know, he works.
Yeah, a lot of random stuff.
Man's got a big filmography, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Ah, ooh. You know what they say about a man with a big filmography?
What's that?
He's definitely in the union.
That's true. I'm gonna. I mean, I want to try what I was gonna try before because I think I could get away with it now. I do think he's been billed as Stefan on SNL, and IMDb because that character was such a thing.
Let's see.
I bet they had him for
Mr.
specific stuff.
Bill Hader. I have so many tabs, you guys.
Yeah.
I have so many tabs.
Your RAM is gonna be so. Is there gonna be a point where like, okay, the game is over because like this is gonna be a 4-hour long podcast
Yeah.
and 2 hours is the game.
That's just what it's going to be. He is credited as Stefan.
Yeah.
Under
Makes sense.
Saturday Night Live.
Cool.
All right, well, I'm just gonna start unloading the Bill Hader chamber. He is so he's in Hot Rod.
Mm-hmm.
I think the character's name is Dave.
That sounds right.
I think it's Dave.
It is Dave.
Nice. What other movies is he in? Because like I also I could remember Hot Rod, but I could not remember what he was in that.
Well, you can't use Hot Rod anyway.
Right, yeah, but that's a problem I have with a lot of his movies. It's like I remember he was in them, but I couldn't.
But what was?
Can't tell you what it was called. I feel like he plays a lot of a very specific kind of character, and I like. To think back to other cartoons. Character's not named Barry on that Barry show, is he?
Well, even if he is, that doesn't count.
What if it was secretly something else? You know, what if his name was like, it was a Sergeant Skinner situation? It seems like something he would do.
Well, you would have to tell me what that name is, if that is the case.
Stalling, man. It's fun to stall.
I agree, except when I know when I know things.
Yeah. I feel like I feel stupid not having done more Brad Pitts and George Clooney's because there's so many of them. And
we have done a fair amount of them.
I know, but they really were like everywhere for my childhood. I mean, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to do this one. Brad Pitt was the weatherman on that dumb show that Jim from The Office did. Some Good News. And he's either called Brad Pitt or Brad Pitt the Weatherman, but that was the role he played on the show, and I'm sure he's credited as such.
That's a crazy.
That's why he's in this, I assume.
I'm not seeing Some Good News on IMDb.
Is that really not on IMDb?
But, if he is credited as that somewhere, then I'll still count it.
I mean, he was the weatherman on it, but I guess if it's not,
Some Good News is on IMDb, unless this is
Oh, maybe is it stylized like in a way that I didn't do? Like, is it all one word?
Some Good News 2020. But here, I'll help you out because I can't use it. I'll say this. Well, I guess I can't use it anyway. But Nando doesn't really have it.
Really?
Nah.
He's not called the weatherman or meteorologist or Brad Pitt?
It's meteorologist, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well.
No, man, if he only said weatherman and it was meteorologist, I feel like that's not, those credits don't transfer.
All right. So. I think that's fair. I think that doesn't count.
Wow.
I think if we go by the rules DJ forced upon himself last time, then he gets 3 or 4 more guesses before I officially declare him wrong.
That makes sense. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I
remember you saying several wrong things before you allowed me to say you lost.
I have a couple Bill haters, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I got to think about more Bill haters because I feel like he's got such a voice, like a prolific voice we all know and love.
I don't know. I feel like it's time for another timer.
I might be in trouble. I feel like there were even some that I've forgotten about that I knew before.
It's funny.
Yeah.
What if Nando unleashing the banana is why he loses?
I mean, it's definitely not. It got me through a round that I wasn't going to get through. Okay. All right. Let's see if that's from Ryan Reynolds.
There's still one I'm shocked has not been said.
I can't wait to figure out what this one is.
I mean, yeah, I feel like the Sam Rockwells are tricky. Because,
oh, yeah, we've barely done Sam Rockwell.
But, I watch all the stuff he's in, and, I don't know. What's his name? In
30 seconds.
All right. I'm going to say this. I bet he's credited this way, and I'm obviously running short on, good answers, so I think I'll have to give it a try. I'm going to say in 7 Psychopaths, Sam Rockwell is credited as the Jack O'Diamonds.
Well, let's find out.
Diggins, just go to his tab.
It's a bad movie, but I think in his mind they do a bit where he's secretly one of the killers, and that's the one. Seven Psychopaths? It was like a Martin McDonagh movie nobody liked. It's the Martin McDonagh movie nobody, or not Martin McDonagh. Martin McDougall? What's his name? The Irish playwright?
Martin McDonagh.
Is Martin
right the
McDonagh?
first time.
Yeah.
I'm looking into this further. It's not his main credit, but maybe it's in there somewhere.
I feel dumb, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Did you do Sam Rockwell Argyle?
No, but I don't remember what his character's name was in Argyle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, do you?
Yeah.
Oh. I have forgotten so many of these characters' names and stuff like Argyle. All the character names go right out. Obviously, Nolan Booth from whatever it was called. Never forget Red Notice, but the rest of them are really... The other one that I'm really kicking myself for is I can't remember the name of Ryan Reynolds' character in Just Friends, which I've seen a billion times. Like, so many times. And
yeah, I'm gonna say this is wrong. I don't think.
Oh no!
I'll take it.
That's 2 wrongs for Nando.
Man,
I think this might be it, Nando.
does that mean I lose, or do I have another try?
Can you give me another one right now?
I mean, I could say that Ryan Reynolds' character in Ted is named. Oh, I don't know. I think my internet probably went out for a second because I was going to be so correct. It decided to sabotage me. Oh. So you heard that thing that I said. So that. Now we've checked. It was correct.
Well, sorry. Just
yeah.
We want to get some clean audio on that. What do you think? What did it was again? You just want to get some clean audio?
One and done, I think, is how we usually do these, right?
Unobstructed clean audio.
All right.
Yeah, we just need some clean audio.
This was my guess one that I don't love, but I think I'm probably close on. I think Ryan Reynolds played Ryan Reynolds in Ted.
Let's see.
Wow.
Yeah. I think there's a bit where they're at a party and they're like, is that Ryan Reynolds? And he's just there.
You would not believe how often the sequence of letters TED shows up on IMDb. I'd probably be better off just scrolling through and looking.
Yeah.
Is that your final answer, Nando?
Yeah, that's my final answer.
I'm sorry, he's uncredited, but the character's name is Jared.
Oh, okay.
Oh, then, Jared.
Then I am wrong.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Nando, you have officially lost. And considering events in these past few days, I am utterly shocked that you never said Cal in Crazy Stupid Love for Steve Carell.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he's in that. I honestly probably wouldn't have remembered Cal. I could not remember that. What are some other big ones that we didn't think of? Or DJ, do you have other ones you want to unload as a victory?
I had one. Well, I had some Bill Hader reaches. I'm pretty sure he was in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, but I couldn't remember the name.
Yeah.
That does nothing then.
My next guess I had was he's in Tropic Thunder as Les Grossman's assistant.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he has a name. I think he's credited as executive assistant or something like that.
I bet he has a name.
He has a name.
Yeah, because I think he gets yelled at a couple times.
What's his name?
Rob Slalom.
Oh, okay.
Never mind. I wouldn't have got that then.
Yeah.
I guess I was on the cusp of losing as well. So.
Wow. Any other big ones we missed, Diggins?
Yeah, what did we miss?
I mean, for actors, none of you said Jon Stewart. None of you said Maya Rudolph.
Well, I knew Jon Stewart was in it, but
Matt Damon.
Yeah, I didn't.
Bradley
Matt
Cooper.
I did not know either of them were in it.
Said Keegan-Michael Key. None of you said Richard Jenkins. None of you said Blake Lively.
Who's
None
Richard
of you
Jenkins?
said Christopher Maloney.
Well,
None of you said Matthew Rhys.
To be fair, those are definitely people that, unless you watch the credits bits, were not very clearly in it.
Yeah. So
Matt Damon was the flower. He had a few lines.
I did not realize that.
That's fair. The Jon Stewart one, what movies is Jon Stewart?
Death to Smooshy, the one where he's the lawyer, the gay lawyer. what's that one?
Oh yeah, in
Big Daddy, but I don't remember his name in either of those. Yeah, because I knew Jon Stewart was in it, but I couldn't have guessed a guy for him.
Yeah, but Matt Damon's huge.
Yeah, Matt Damon would have been pretty helpful.
Yeah,
although what would I have gone with? Like Rusty? What are other Matt Damon characters?
Well, Rusty's Brad Pitt.
Oh no, right. But yeah, like I'm trying to think of what Matt Damon,
like Jason Bourne
in the movies.
You know,
the Bourne Ultimatum. I guess
the Ultimatum.
Maybe those would have counted. Yeah,
the regular Ultimatum.
You know what? Actually, could have strung together a couple.
Given the rules we established, a thing that absolutely would have counted. George Clooney as Bruce Wayne in Batman and Robin.
Yeah, I thought about that. I figured because he did the same George Clooney. I think we have to assume the Flash takes place in the George Clooney verse from those movies. So. That I didn't think that would count.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Well,
that's tough,
man.
It's like Batman and anyway. Wow.
I'm gonna look up some.
Anyway, yeah, DJ convinced he could never ever win.
Yeah,
it's the hardest game in the universe.
I got lucky.
Nobody could ever possibly remember anything. It's so hard. It's literally discrimination to ask him to do this game.
All right. High jump. All right, pole vault. All right.
Well, I got one technical thing wrong in two sports nobody cares about.
But you also gaslit me to make me think I was wrong.
The sports we all love.
That's just fun to do.
That's fair. I agree.
Anyway, if you remember a million years ago, we started doing this because of the IMDb summary for this movie, which I decided neither of you had done a good job at. I will say, if I had to pick someone, it would have been DJ. So,
okay.
Oh, yeah. You're supposed to read the summary, right?
Yeah. What was it?
The actual summary is: a young girl who goes through a difficult experience begins to see everyone's imaginary friends who have been left behind as their real life friends have grown up.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Which isn't like wrong, but it's just one thing of the movie.
Yeah.
Which is what I said, if you recall.
Yeah.
Now that I'm looking at the Ryan Reynolds things, I do feel pretty dumb for not doing his Blade Trinity character. Because that I could have named. And then his Harold and Kumar cameo I also could have named if I used my brain. Those are the only two.
I'm looking at the Brad Pitts.
Oh my god,
Nando.
yeah.
He was in Megamind as Metro Man.
Oh my god, he is Metro Man. I've scrubbed him from my brain because we don't like him anymore, so I forgot about that. But he was in.
We don't like him.
We were just talking about it.
Remember the thing I said about his ex-wife and his daughter?
Yeah, it's some weird stuff.
Sorry. Right.
But yeah, a lot of these people are in the same movies because like he shows up in, what was the one I was just gonna say? Big Short. Also, there's just a lot of crossover between these actors. But yeah,
they're all friends.
Mm-hmm. They are all friends. What a great bunch of guys, except for the ones we don't like because of all their stuff. But definitely that stuff.
Well, DJ, in a major reward, your prize for finally claiming victory in a thing you claimed could never be done, is to tell us what you thought of If.
All right. Well, since we spent so long on that game, I'm going to spare the audience. This movie is bad. I didn't like it. It's so confusing because they explain nothing. I'm not exaggerating. Half of this movie is weird dance sequences and songs, and it is in service to nothing. It is a terrible movie. Don't see it ever.
Wow.
Don't pay money for it ever. It is a terrible movie that is boring and confusing, and I hated it. So, Nando, what about you?
Oh, I didn't hate it. I didn't like it though. I didn't think it was like I feel like this movie felt like it felt incredibly like derivative of a couple of ideas, that are
really?
Yeah. Right. And like, but like, it's weird because those ideas have been done. So you know what a movie about that or a show about that would look like. This for some reason doesn't do anything with them. It like sets up things and then we do a bit with that and then we just like let it hang there. It's so strange. I also think that all of Ryan Reynolds' stuff in this movie is weird and doesn't work. I feel like this like weird, the Ryan Reynolds like ironic detachment character. It's like I get why he's here. He's a very famous actor, and I generally like him in things, but it just like totally doesn't need to be here. And I think he makes the movie kind of less fun because he's just there having no fun the whole time. I think John Krasinski is just what a character he wrote for himself. Like I think he deserves a lot of credit. I think, to be fair, it does look good, and it's, you know, I'm sure kids like it. If they see it, they probably enjoy it. I do think like it does something that I wonder if this is what they did, where it honestly feels like they gave every animator a different, just like when you make an imaginary friend, doesn't matter what it looks like, and they all came up with different things, and it kind of works as like an aesthetic, but it's also no aesthetic, so it doesn't work. And I think with more of a vibe, this movie would have had more, I don't know, more going on, but I don't know. It's also not very funny. And yeah, nothing anybody's doing makes any sense. And really nothing happens that matters. I don't think anything matters. Yep. Yeah. Except for stuff that may not have happened, but that stuff probably didn't happen then. I don't know. I didn't really like it. Diggins, what about you?
So, this is a metaphor I'm stealing from an old video game review I read. But essentially, watching If is kind of like having a pleasant enough chat with somebody, and halfway through, you realize that they're just constantly farting the whole time.
Yeah.
That's great.
I think the most clarifying thing I can say is that this is a really annoying movie.
Yeah.
Everything about it is just kind of annoying. It's not like horrible or like, like completely off base, or there's never a point where I'm like, well, this is just complete garbage. But everything is just at least a little bit annoying.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm never like enjoying it. I'm just being bothered. Also, I feel like this movie was edited out of order.
Yeah. No, I agree.
There are just sequences that would make so much more sense if they were just slightly rearranged.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think the biggest example I have, this happens really early on and is also like not a plot thing. It's not important. So I think this is a good one for this section. Early on, there's a scene where the main girl, Kaylee Fleming, finds an old video camera she wants to watch. So she leaves to buy a USB cable. While she's leaving to buy the USB cable, she notices she's being followed by somebody. She follows she buys the USB cable, then follows that person up to a door, doesn't find out anything about that person, goes back downstairs. We then cut to the next day when she visits her dad at the hospital. And then we immediately cut back to that night where she watches the video camera.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the scene after that is she meets the person who was following her.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just completely out of order scenes that, like, I feel like any halfway decent editor would have seen all this and been like, well, no, none of this flows. It all just constantly interrupts each other and like stops the flow. Like, we got to just change this around so that the one thing happens after the other leads into the other, right? Like, that's what would make this make sense. And the movie's just full of moments like that, where it's like, if this just happened in a slightly different order, this would flow so much better.
Mm-hmm.
But because it doesn't have any of that, the movie feels like it takes 15 years to watch.
Yeah, it really does.
So agree. Hard agree.
Anyway, I don't like it. I don't think it's very good. So that's my thoughts.
No, I agree. And I think looking at it now, having watched it, I see why this didn't hit. Like, I see why this wasn't, the runaway success that they probably hoped it would be. And if I had to blame anyone, it's probably the little girl who's doing a bad job. No, I think it's fine. I don't know. It's also just like, even if it was a really good version of itself, I wouldn't like it anyway. I think like this is just a movie that's not for me. It's too schmaltzy. But I think,
I think the good version of this movie would have genuine emotion instead of schmaltz.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, maybe that's, the fault of one specific creative involved with it. Who can say? But, we'll get to it. I guess I have to summarize this movie for people. Not excited
That's
about
right.
that.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Your punishment for not being able to remember Cal in Crazy Stupid Love.
Or Metro Man, or that John Krasinski was Superman in that fucking Super Pets movie. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
I went back and looked that up. Also, I feel like there's a lot of Sam Rockwells that I should have known. I want to just real quick go through that. Also, let me. Oh yeah, what's his name in Moon? Do we know? Nah,
I don't
Sam.
know.
Yeah, a lot of his names are like regular guy names. Wait, DJ, do you know his name in Argyle?
Oh, it was Aiden.
Yeah, it was Aiden. Very good.
It was Aiden.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was George Bush in Vice. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
He was okay in that.
That movie's not that good.
It's got its moments, but yeah, it's definitely not.
I guess.
It's definitely not all it's cracked up to be.
It's
all
one
right.
of the many, many depths we as a society have forced Amy Adams to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she get an Oscar for that one?
No. Nominated,
Yeah.
but didn't win.
Damn. All right. Well, we got to talk about If. Here's the plot of If. Okay. So you got the summary. Here we go. There's a little girl. I mean, she's a littler in the videos and like stuff, but we see her whole life. This is what we did get for saying Up was good. And lazy filmmakers decided if you show a sad thing in the beginning, that'll get you. And it almost did.
Yeah, they don't actually study the opening of Up, which is basically a short film all of its own. And they're just like, if you show a past and then a sad thing happens, that means it's sad.
Yeah. So we got this little girl, and she grew up with a family we may recognize from names we already said. John Krasinski is her dad. Fiona Shaw is her grandmother. I would imagine on John Krasinski's side, although I don't know if we ever found that out. She has.
If Emily Blunt was the mom, it would be clear because two of them would be British.
That's true. Yeah. And this mom is played by, I looked her up in the thing. It's a Daddario. So it's Alexandra Daddario's sister, I think, or something. She's not in it for very long, so it doesn't matter. But they have all kinds of crazy, wacky, fun times. Little girl is a magician sometimes. She does Tina Turner. And they're just having a wacky, crazy family time in New York City, baby. Brooklyn or something. Then we go to a little bit of the magic show. Turns out it's at a hospital because of cancer, because the mom has some sort of cancer. Wow. Pretty sad, you know? And that's the opening credits. We don't really get a whole lot of specifics. I don't think we see like the mom actually having died. I think we just kind of see a lot of bits without her in it. But yeah. So that's the intro. Really great. The little girl, what is her name?
B,
right, B. B goes to live with Fiona Shaw, her grandma, for some reason, which is not clear immediately, but she is staying with her. And she has all kinds of fun, creative, crafty stuff because she used to be a crafty little kid. And she's like, hey, you want your fun, crafty stuff back? And she says, fuck you, Marva. I'm too old for crafty stuff. And it's like,
Right?
Kid, relax. But also, yeah, that's kind of the flavor of this kid. We'll get to it. But then they go to the hospital where they find an empty bed for a little almost death fake out, but then not really, which I guess was occupied at one point by her dad, John Krasinski, the most annoying man on earth. And he's doing a bit with a little water, like an IV drip. And, you know, the lady from the Bear is eating it up, or she's just being nice. But she plays the nurse. I forgot her name in the Bear. Otherwise, I would have used it. Well, I guess I would have had to have known her real name, too. So what happens here is we learn that the dad is going in for some sort of heart operation. And he says it's like routine and safe. And obviously, he's probably lying to be nice. But also, we don't really ever find out exactly what it is. So I'm not sure how much danger he is actually in. He's in some. And she's like, it would suck if I lost both my parents in the hospital.
Agreed.
It's also not clear to me why he needs to be in the hospital for what seems like weeks before the surgery.
Yeah.
Considering he's also perfectly healthy enough that he can walk around. He's fully dressed all the time. He seems like he's fine to live everyday life as long as he doesn't exert himself too much.
Maybe he's like, my kid's pretty annoying. She doesn't want to do all the fun stuff I want to do. I need a break, man. Grandma, can you take her? I'll just show up in this hospital every couple of days to like check in.
Can't handle it anymore.
Yeah. I think she'll buy it. I'll pay off this one nurse. I'll put a little shirt on with a little heart on it, so then she'll know. It doesn't matter. But yeah, so she's like worried about that. I want to say also, how old would you say this girl is? Maybe 15, something like that is what we're going for here.
12.
She's 12.
She specifies that
She self-identifies.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that. She looks. Well, I don't know how old she looks. But
oh yeah, the 12 is like total bullshit. I'm like, for this character to work, she has to be like a jaded teenager.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's not even that she doesn't look 12. It's she doesn't sound 12. And even though she's a character who is supposed to sound like an adult because she's so adult and stuff, but
Right.
yeah, that got past me.
Wait, Nando, you think one of the children in this movie is written inauthentically?
Just one, the only one. But
yeah, it
Just
can't be
one.
more than one.
I mean, yeah, you know, that's movies these days. And listen, we love Crazy Stupid Love, so we'll let it slide again here because this also has Steve Carell, as we all know. But yeah, she goes home, plays with the camera, like you were saying, and needs to get a USB cord for it. And when she's out, she encounters some sort of something. It's pretty clear that this is some weird CGI bullshit, but she doesn't recognize it. But it's some like Betty Boop or something. It's in the apartment, I think above her or near. It's in this building. She goes to follow it, but it runs away. It's clearly trying to avoid her, but like following her. And a woman in the next, like in that hallway, comes out and is like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And that's like something that we'll get to later. But other people live in this building. Little B goes to the hospital again to see her dad with flowers again for no reason, because what is he doing here, like you were saying? But she bumps into a little kid who does not matter. The movie keeps trying to make him matter, but he refuses, and he is in the hospital for a broken leg or something. And he's clumsy. He's clumsy, yeah. And you're like, and you go, oh, is this gonna be like her little sidekick, and they're gonna go on adventures together? But no, we'll see this kid a couple more times, but I still cannot for the life of me figure out why he's in this movie. Dad's doing more bits, you know, he loves it. Then she finds the camcorder. This is that one scene where the camcorder scene should have came before this, but whatever. She watches camcorder. It's got that Tina Turner song from the credits. But then while that's happening, she sees this Betty Boop kind of ladybug character just like walking around with a human man. So not a cartoon character man. And this is Ryan Reynolds, and he's dressed like just a, improver or something, really. Like he's got all kinds of clashing patterns, waistcoats, t-shirts and stuff. He's got a beard because he's disaffected. You know how he is.
That's how he is.
And he's dressed like either a guy who does improv in LA or a fascist YouTuber.
That's true.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
And him and the butterfly or the ladybug are going to visit another big purple creature, kind of grimacy looking guy who is doing Monsters Incorporated, it seems like, or something, at a house that he is not from. But he's like trying to, basically, it becomes clear at this point that Ryan Reynolds is some sort of manager or facilitator for all these CGI guys that are trying to audition or something to be imaginary friends for kids that are not the ones that invented them, did like new friends, because it's there when you stop believing in them, they continue to exist or something. This one specifically is the one played by Steve Carell. It is named Blue in the, spitting in the face of copyright law, but whatever. And his whole deal is he is kind of shy and also like gregarious and stuff.
Really? I would have said his deal is that he's annoying.
Yeah, well, we already said that for the dad, so I want to be a little bit more specific for somebody. But the little girl sees this and she's like, that's weird. So she goes and gets, I guess, knocked out by them or something. I can't remember what happens that leads her to here.
She passes out.
Faints.
Oh, right, because she's
seeing a Betty Boop in real life is just so crazy. A reaction no one else in the movie ever has.
Right, and it's okay. So this is a question people may be having if they haven't seen it. Wait a second, you said these guys are walking around. One of them's Ryan Reynolds and the other one's a Betty Boop. Can people see them? Do they function as people in the world? And the answer is probably not. But this little girl can. B can. And this is a revelation to the other guys, which we will say are called IFs. IF is short for imaginary friends. Kind of. Like, it is, but like, it's, you know, that's their little name that they have. And they are living in the apartment above her and Marva. And what it seems like Nolan Booth from Red Notice is trying to relocate these guys and also maybe set them up with their past ones as maybe like a secondary option. I don't know. Can you figure this out?
I don't think he's ever doing that.
Okay.
I think he just like keeps a record of where they came from, but he's fully set on, we just got to find new guys for you. Except it doesn't seem like he's actually doing that at all.
Yeah.
But who gives a fuck?
Yeah, and he's like I said, he's like a weirdo. But yeah, he's like Ryan Reynolds in a movie where Ryan Reynolds is too cool to be in the movie. There's Steve Carell, and then the other one played by Fleabag, L337, Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Yep,
a woman who really, to my mind, looks like she made her masterpiece.
Yeah,
and then decided the rest of her life would be cashing checks, and I respect
Cash some checks.
I mean, listen. This would be this is a check. I do feel like there's certain things where it's like, yeah, I want to hang out with Donald Glover. And I want to do, you know, Indiana Jones. I've always wanted to be the next Indiana Jones, get yelled at on the internet. So, you know, I understand some of those moves, but I don't know what else she does. You know, like what's her, like, I don't know. I mean, it's this now because obviously she was a huge hit. But yeah, she's the ladybug and is also kind of timid. They're like, hey, we're IFs, you know, that's what we are, imaginary friends. We're trying to get our lives back together because when kids forget about us, we still hang around. And you can see us, which is weird. She tries to get the purple one to be the imaginary friend of that kid who breaks his arm all the time or something.
Yep.
It doesn't work because he's kind of a scaredy cat. And she is now kind of roped into this. Now, I know what you're thinking. What does she do? Like, what is this kid's deal? Is it summer break? And I think it is, but still, like, she, as far as her mom knows, or not mom, but as far as her grandma knows, she just leaves the house for big, long stretches of time and goes upstairs, but she doesn't know that, and just, like, does stuff. It can't be explained because it's nothing, which leads me to, this is another one of those movies where the protagonist gets a head injury early on and the movie is an imagination, but yeah, it's kind of like going for that, so whatever. So she's kind of hanging out with the Nolan Booth, and he's like we said, he's not having fun, but he takes her to the, I don't know, Dreamatorium or whatever the fuck it's called, which is in Coney Island where Mr. Robot does all his hacking. It's in a similar place. And it's like a fancy little retirement home for the IFs. So we see a bunch of them, played by all those actors we already said. The only one that we didn't say because none of us could remember anything else he's been in is Louis Gossett Jr. plays this bear who seems to be in charge of it, or at least like, you know, the senior member of the team. And if you're wondering, hey, wait, what's Ryan Reynolds doing here then? It gets explained later, but it makes no sense at this point. But it's just kind of, this movie just keeps going, you know, it never takes a break. You never have a second to think about it because it just keeps going. Because then we start just kind of bumping into these new little friends and do a big dance number. And it's like, weird, because the whole deal with this girl was like, she doesn't like to do stuff fun. She's not a fun kid. She's an adult kid, grew up too fast. But it seems like she's really over that halfway through the movie. But the movie continues. And she decides to make it her mission to fix the IF community however she can. What it seems like she's going to do originally is do like dating kind of matching personalities and stuff to different new kids. So all of the retired IFs will have new children to be IFs too. However, if that fails, she's also okay with setting up IFs with their old people. And if we can find them, then that will be what they do, even though they are adults now and presumably no longer need them. You know, the little kid in the hospital can't see any of the IFs. So he just kind of goes, yeah, I don't know. Seems like you're insane, but whatever. He's like a kid. So he believes in magic and whatever. Grandma, we realize at this point that the grandma, it is, the ladybugs, her IF, and she used to want to be a ballerina. Now, it didn't go well for her, but she's like, I don't dance anymore. But then little B comes up with a plan. She's like, what if I make her dance by putting music on, and then she dances, and then I can reintroduce the ladybug to her. Now, they don't do that. But what happens when this is happening is if like the Marva is dancing, and then that is kind of reminding her of childhood, the if begins to glow. And that makes the if feel good. But then the if just this ends and the if is done. Doesn't ascend into heaven, and it doesn't rejoin her. It just kind of affects her and affects the if. And I guess somehow solves the if's problems. But it doesn't really seem like a long-term solution. I don't know. This happens a couple times in this movie, and this is about as close as we get to kind of an explanation for it. They also learn that the blue one, the one named Blue, the purple one, his kid was Bobby Moynihan, from Drunk Uncle, as we all know, Forville. He is a nervous guy who's doing a job interview or proposal or something. So she sends Blue over to him to like give him courage, and then it doesn't work originally, but then it does. He touches him kind of, and then it's like, oh, I feel better about myself. I could do the big job. Again, Blue does not ascend into heaven. He just gets glowy for a while and then continues moving on.
Also, in another weird editing moment, they seem to not realize that they need to make Bobby Moynihan remember his childhood, even though that was specifically how she realized it had to work for Blossom before this.
Yeah. It's like, it's so weird. And in a detail that doesn't matter, but I do think I have to point out the big Blue gives little girl a hug. A human being in the real world sees this, and it looks like the girl's levitating. So, figure out what that means. She goes home and finds out her dad, and she's already visited her dad a couple times, went into surgery. She gets in trouble, not in trouble, but Marva's like, what are you doing? It's like 10 o'clock. They go rush to the hospital as if they just found out that he had died during the surgery or something. I don't know why this is treated like such a shock. Because
it's like he's asleep after the surgery, and they're like, that's not normal. He shouldn't be unconscious after the surgery.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, he should.
I mean,
you did this to him. You know that.
Yeah, it's a super weird setup for a dramatic scene where she tells the story to Jim from the office, and Jim from the office's whole deal is like he loves stories, and that's childhood and stuff, and he's, a child at heart. And now because she is able to, be a child again, she's kind of moved past that her mom died and she grew up too fast. So, yeah, her whole thing is done. There is a little bit left, though, because we still haven't solved any of the problems for the ifs, but whatever. We haven't come to terms with the weird twist of the movie, which is she goes back to the house to see her ifs, to tell them, I guess this, but they're all gone. And that old lady that was there is like, hey, nobody lives there. It's just an empty place. And you're like, wait, but the ifs were there. Whatever. Then she's going to leave this place. So she packs up all her stuff and drops it onto the New York City street. Throw that all away. It's gross, but whatever. And one of them is a picture that she drew of her and her mom and her dad. And that's like really nice because she loves them all so much. But then she folds out a secret part of the post or the picture, revealing a clown, which is something we heard that Ryan Reynolds used to be. And his name is like Alvin or something. Calvin. Okay, I was close. And that is her secret friend. And then we learn that Ryan Reynolds was always her if or something. Why he looks like a person and not a, doll, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Also, how many pictures do you guys have or draw where another person is on like the leftmost third, so it can be perfectly folded to look like a perfectly centered picture, but then you open it up and there's another person there? Whoa! I
mean, like, this fits right into Imaginary, where like this would be a big reveal on Imaginary instead. Oh my god, the bear's in all the pictures, but yeah, it's pretty stupid. And Ryan Reynolds is now a clown again because he has fallen back into, being happy again because he likes doing if stuff, whatever that is. And then all the ifs get like set up with either new kids or they're old people or something. And then they go back home and Jim from the office trips. I'm going to assume dies. Heart pops right out of his chest, I guess. I don't know. We don't see it, but that's the end of it. Like we said, a lot of famous people in it. End of the movie has a little post-credit scene where it shows little Louis Gossett Jr. Bear, and then says in loving memory of him because I guess he died. But that's the end. Everybody's happy. The ifs are free or something. Yeah, the end. The movie's weird.
Don't forget, Grandma turns to Blossom at the end and is like, "I've seen you the whole time," or whatever.
Right.
And you're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. And then, so when Jim from the office trips, is that because he tripped over his imaginary friend or
Keith.
something?
Yeah, he says, "Hey, Keith."
Right. Okay. So yeah. So it's weird how these characters are able to interact with the ifs in real life, and it also very weird now that I think about it that he has the invisible one because he's the creative, goofster.
Right.
Couldn't he come up with something besides nothing? But whatever. I don't know. It's stupid.
Well, I mean, we just watched the movie that John Krasinski wrote, so I'm going to say no, he couldn't.
That's a good point. The other thing, I'll just go through a couple of these real quick. Like you said, Sam Rockwell is a little superhero fox kind of little guy or something, a raccoon. Jon Stewart is like a little robot man. Which other ones are important? Awkwafina is a bubble that pops. I imagine her name is Pop or something.
I actually think it is.
Yeah, it's probably that. That guy
I closed all my tabs. Sorry.
It's fine. The dad from Step Brothers, who is in this, is the like one of those little like mannequin-y modeling things for art.
Richard Jenkins.
Richard Jenkins, yeah. And I don't know. Those are the only ones I can remember off the top of my head. But there were a lot of them. There's millions of them. One, Bill Hader's a banana. Yeah. None of it matters. And then the movie ends, and it's 2 hours. So yeah, pretty good if.
Sure is.
Yep. You guys want to spin the wheel?
Oh, let's spin this wheel.
Let's wheel it up. All right, I'm gonna spin the wheel. Landed on one of DJ's. This one's just called, and we got to start here. Krasinski's Home for Unimaginative Ideas.
Okay.
What happened here?
If anyone who's listening is familiar with the Cartoon Network mid-2000s show Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, this is
have you guys watched this show, by the way? Because I've not.
I have, yeah.
I watched a couple episodes. I wasn't like a huge fan.
Gotcha.
It feels so ripped from this movie feels so ripped from that show to the point where the main imaginary friend's name in this movie is Blue. It's the same name of the main imaginary friend in Foster's, and like the inside the little house, like the wallpaper is the same.
Oh,
like, Michelle was like next to me. She's like, "That looks like the wallpaper," and she pulled up a picture from the internet, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's crazy how much this is ripped from it, because the premise of that show is that we have a retirement home or boarding home, whatever, for imaginary friends who kids have left them behind, and here are all the hijinks that happen here, and like that's basically the pitch for this movie. It's crazy how similar like the ideas that are, and even like some of the details. It's so weird,
especially because the character named Blue in this is not Blue. Even the movie's like, why am I named Blue, right? But like, if it was named Purple, I'd be like, wow, that's pretty close to what Foster's Imaginary Friends did. But in that, his name is Blue, and that one, we're like, fuck it, name him Blue too. See what they do. It really does feel like they were trying to get as much out of this as they could. Like they were trying to play chicken with lawyers, because man, it's so weird.
Well, they looked at what David Zaslav was doing, and they're like, well, I mean, I don't think they even realize they own the Cartoon Network license anymore.
It's a good point.
So we could do whatever we want.
And like, I think if this movie had made $1 bazillion, maybe somebody would have sued. But now it's like, well, what are we going to do?
Yeah, like who cares?
It's like a producer's that you could do as much, intellectual property crime as you want, as long as your movie doesn't make any money. But I remember seeing this trailer and going, that looks a lot like Imaginary Friends, but I've never seen it, so kind of assumed there was more to it, like more differences. But I guess there's not.
Well, ultimately, the difference is that in Foster's Home, they do pair the imaginary friends with new kids.
Right.
Whereas in this one, it's all like, no, the adults still need them.
Yeah. And I really don't get that. And we'll get to it because that's on the wheel.
I mean, the whole like central metaphor, I think it's crazy to me that we did this after Inside Out 2.
Yeah.
Because this feels so much like the bad version of that.
Mm-hmm.
Where it like doesn't really understand psychology in any way. And it's like Inside Out 2 like has like a parent's perspective like through the emotions, but he's about the emotional life of the child in that movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas this acts like it's about the emotional life of the child, but is 100% from an adult perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The protagonist, like the character that needs to grow half of the movie in is Ryan Reynolds, the fake clown imaginary friend guy who doesn't exist or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's like, super weird.
It's a movie that pretends it's a children's movie, but is about how adults need to, get in touch with their inner child. Like that's not.
All right.
If I'm like random 10-year-old who goes to see a movie, it's like, I don't give a shit about if my parents need imaginary friends or not. What is this?
Nah, you're like, my mom needs an imaginary friend or something. She's spiraling out of control. She hasn't even painted in a while. We need to get her an imaginary friend ASAP. I would also say, now that I think about it, because this is the first time I've actually had this thought. In the beginning, Marva gives her the painting, and she's like, you used to love to paint, in a very thick Irish accent. And then she's like, yeah, I used to, but I don't anymore because I'm cool and tough. And, whatever. You would kind of assume then what's going to happen is Ryan Reynolds is going to be like, let's do dance numbers. I'm fun. I'm recruiting you into this thing that you don't want to do. But instead, she does that role. What the fuck? Did they read each other's lines by accident or something? How did they do that?
Like, she immediately is like the fun, imaginative one for the whole movie. And he's the curmudgeon who doesn't want to do it. And it's like, so like immediately her problem is resolved insofar as she has one.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie doesn't make sense.
I mean, her problem is her dad's a real piece of work, and we'll get to it. But you gotta feel
bad for her. She's been through some shit.
She has been through some shit.
Yeah, I mean, losing her mom was tough, but living with John Krasinski was worse.
Yeah, can you imagine every morning you wake up and there's some new fucking thing he's done all the course of the night? He's flipped all the tables and chairs upside down or something, and you gotta be like, wow, amazing. Oh, speaking of that, I spun the wheel. One of Diggins is a loose collection of bits. Let's talk about some bits. Do you have a favorite bit?
Oh, boy. Well, I mean, one of them would have to be good for that to be the case. Yeah, I mean, so I guess I'll just, while I stall for time, I'll explain exactly what this is doing here. Which is that there are several points in this movie, and DJ sort of alluded to this earlier, where instead of, like, doing anything to like advance character or story or theme at all, they just kind of like wander past a bunch of ifs who are all like, I'm gonna do my one joke now. It's time for my one joke. Oh, did somebody say we're doing jokes? Here's mine.
Oh my gosh.
And that goes on for like 5 full minutes each
long.
time.
Way too long.
Oh yeah. And the first time it's like bumping into him, so it's like, I get it, we're just kind of having fun. The second time it's some weird audition or something that never gets kind of followed up on outside of just like they have written down what their kind of deals are.
They have to prove their worth to the children.
Yeah, I really don't know.
And then immediately after that one, there's another one where Louis Gossett Jr. Bear is like, I knew the whole time we should be doing something else. Apropos of nothing, here's Coney Island as I remember it, and then we just spent 5 fucking minutes there for no reason.
I forgot about that bit. That was so weird. What was that? Like, what were they going for with that the Coney Island thing?
I don't know, man. I mean, if we saw like his adult there and it turned out like, oh, Lewis has been in touch with his adult,
Right.
And then they'd be like, well, there's the revelation that they needed. But like, no, it's just a fucking trip on Coney Island for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah, the bits are bad. Did you guys have a favorite if?
No, I hated
Within
all
the
of
bits?
them. None of them spoke to me.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to be nice.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite if is the Richard Jenkins art teacher, because besides being a mannequin, he's like so normal.
Yeah.
And I have a fun time imagining the child who's like, I want a really normal, patient, like college level art teacher as my imaginary friend.
That's a great point. That is really weird that he's that. But oh yeah, we never asked this question. Either of you guys have imaginary friends?
I never did.
I feel like nobody does.
Yeah,
I feel like really little kids will like pretend and like play pretend. Like my niece and nephew will sometimes like play pretend games, but there's not like a set imaginary friend they have that they're doing it with. It's just like if they need to pretend someone's there for whatever game they're playing at that moment, they do.
Yeah.
Like I don't think imaginary friends have ever been like a thing that a child has had.
Right.
Unless they're crazy and the imaginary friend is evil, then it's an imaginary friend. But like, yeah, it's a very strange premise for something that it's always treated as super universal when in reality, I don't know anybody that's had one. And if they did, it wouldn't be little Grimace or whatever. It would be, maybe it would be Ryan Reynolds, that poor kid.
And like the idea is always like, oh, well, you forget them when you grow up, so you wouldn't know. People have kids, okay? We watch our kids play, and we know that they don't do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
That's a great point. Especially John Krasinski. Why doesn't he have his imaginary friend around all the time?
Yeah, he really seems like a man who's literally never grown up.
Yeah.
Like... I feel like if I were social services watching him in this hospital, I'd be like, we got to check this guy out. I'm not convinced he's capable of caring for this child.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. I spun the wheel again, landed on one of DJ's. This one is If Hop. Let's talk about that.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'm curious.
So there was a crazy IHOP promotion with If, and I can't figure out, did they think that, kids would go see this movie if, they saw the IHOP If menu? But I gotta tell you what these things are. These are unhinged menu items. Okay, so first of all, they all have, little things like Lewis's Cinnabear stack. So it's the Cinna stack, but with, cinnamon buns on top. That's fine. There's, Blue's Dazzle pancakes, which is, blue pancakes with, a cookie and whipped cream and Fruity Pebbles. That's fine. There is one Unbelievable Blue Soda Pop. It is a blend of lemon lime soda and blue raspberry syrup, garnished with the orange Bob Pop.
Oh my god!
The full popsicle just in your drink.
That is psychotic.
It's insane. Do you guys see this? Let me show you a picture.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture of it right now.
It's insane. Move on down to Blossom's Orangesicle, a blend of orange juice, lemon lime soda, and vanilla syrup, garnished with whipped cream, Fruity Pebbles, and gummy butterfly. This is a drink for children.
Yeah.
What are we doing? I would never order that for my son. Like my son's a bit young for this stuff, but if he was 4, 5, 12, no, you're not getting this. I'm sorry. I'll be the villain here.
I feel like some of the food items also seem insane, just looking at pictures of them. But
there's the Magnificent French toast sandwich, which is just that's a big giant sandwich on French toast. Coney Island pizza omelet.
That seems insane. Yeah, looking at the picture of that, I'm like, that one looks like a mess.
Pork sausage, green peppers and onions, marinara. Oh my god, crispy pepperoni and 4 cheese blend inside an omelet.
Inside an omelet and on top of an omelet.
And on top of an omelet, yeah. Also weird that so Blue gets the pancakes and drink. That makes sense. Blossom gets a drink. Why does Lewis have pancakes?
In honor of Louis Gossett Jr.
Yeah, maybe he just loved him.
It was in his last will and testament.
Fair. But also the pancakes.
I just
Do you see what they come with?
So 4 buttermilk pancakes with cinnamon spread and topped with 3 donut holes. It's
Just
fine.
3 donut holes on top of a short stack of pancakes. Like, how many carbs can these kids even eat? Like, can't survive this fucking Joey Chestnut or something going to this. Like, even him, I don't know if he'd be able to take it. Also, I'm looking at this in an article right now by Screen Crush, and it's just called "I Ate Everything on IHOP's If Menu," and the pictures that I have in the picture versus what he was served is pretty rough. Some of these,
now.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
That one specifically, the one with the donut holes on it, is just like not good.
That one should be the easiest one. I assume the omelet is not like replicable.
Yeah, the omelet like just looks like a sadder version of the omelet. Honestly, I think if they gave it more sauce, it would maybe look closer to what the other one is.
The pancakes look terrible.
The pancakes
and
look
it's
awful.
It's supposed to just be a Cinestack. Like, that's the weird part. Like, I've gotten IHOP pancakes, and they're usually, like, fine. Oh, man, that's awful.
But apparently the pancakes that are blue, they kind of they did a good job.
The sandwich is fine. The drink, actually, they nailed it.
Yeah.
Looks exactly like the photo.
Well, one thing about the drink, much less blue than the photo would suggest. Like, the advertisement sets it as like a dark blue, whereas in reality, it's basically a clear liquid with this ice pop sitting in it.
I gotta say, that omelet looks super sad.
Yeah.
That's a sad, sad omelet.
I think it's all the sausages just sitting around. Like,
yeah,
plopped off it. Don't look great.
The unmelted cheese, they just like threw the cheese on top. No attempt to like heat it up. Oh, man.
My goodness.
And did this person eat all of this? Like, that's gotta be crazy, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, I don't know if they ate all of it or they just got it served to them, but can I give you some calories on these things? You want to hear all the calories of them?
Please.
Okay. So the buttermilk pancakes with buttermilk pancakes, cinnamon spread, topped with 3 donut holes, cream cheese icing, whipped topping, cinnamon sugar. That one is 710 calories, which is like a lot, but also for pancakes really add up. So I'm not shocked by that one. It'll get worse. So the French toast thing, the thing that kind of looks closest to actually being a food. This one is a folded omelet style egg, pork sausage patty, and hash browns, American cheese, and chipotle mayo, all on French toast, so like a sandwich, served with syrup and a choice of a side. And in the picture, it is hash browns. I don't know what the other options are. You want to guess how many calories that is?
It's
1,230.
I was gonna guess around there. I'm gonna go. Is it like 1,400?
2,700 calories.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
stop it. That's not.
That's what it says, and it says 2,200 to 27. I assume 22 is without the hash browns, and 27 is with them. But my goodness, that is a lot of calories.
That's impossible.
I don't eat out as much as I used to, partially because it's just like expensive, but also just like, man, some of these foods they're much worse than I would think. They're horrible. I cannot find a calorie count for the gummy drink. It doesn't have one, which is probably because it would be too high. It probably broke the machine that they used to measure it, and whatever. We'll never know.
I will say, an orange juice-based drink with whipped cream on top sounds like a nightmare. Like, that just sounds bad.
But then we're getting to the fun ones. Okay. Let's do the blue pancakes first. So the blue pancakes, just 4 pancakes with some whipped cream, so it's like 500 calories, not crazy. Oh, and Fruity Pebbles. The pizza omelet. This is pork sausage and green peppers and onions, marinara, crispy pepperoni, 4 cheese blend, served with choice of side. Now, there's quite a bit of variance here, but I do think a lot of this variance comes to, do you have hash browns as well or not? Which, like, I cannot even imagine having hash browns with this. But, yeah, when you guess how many calories the pizza omelet is?
It can't be as much as the French toast sandwich, can it?
No, there's no way, because the French toast loads it up. I'm going to say, like, 1,300.
DJ? Or Diggins, excuse me.
1,600.
Yeah, so you're both in the ballpark. It is somewhere between 1,400 and 2,000 calories. And I'm assuming that's whether or not you get hash browns. No, it's insane. is insane for a child, presumably, right? Like, these are children's foods.
Yeah, it was marketed to kids. That's why we have an obesity problem.
And it's just like, man, I don't think a kid would like this, right? Like, besides the blue pancakes.
You underestimate the appetite of a child.
I guess that's true. I could not believe the calories on these. My goodness.
It seems wrong. Like, it seems wrong.
Yeah, it really does. Also, like, I feel like if I'm Lewis... Wait, is the bear Lewis's name... The bear's name is Lewis?
Yeah, right?
Oh, okay. So I, like, named it after him.
Yeah.
I would be like, please take my name off the giant
Yeah, I don't want to be
dough.
associated with this nonsense.
Definitely if I was the pizza omelet, although that is the Coney Island pizza omelet, so that's a whole different place.
There we go.
But yeah, some of these foods, man. I mean, they do this quite a lot. IHOP does like specialty foods. I've not been to an IHOP in like a decade, so I don't know what they're up to, but they're really going for it, you know?
Can I be real with you guys?
Yeah.
Not a single one of these things I wouldn't eat.
Oh my God. You couldn't
Including
pay
the
me to eat the omelet.
You'd have the drinks?
I'd have the drinks. I'd eat the omelet. I'd do it all.
Oh my God.
You're crazy, man. You're crazy.
Yeah, not in a million years. I would maybe have the one with the donut holes on it. You know, I have the blue pancakes seem like kind of fine.
They're just pancakes with food coloring. I mean, like, why not?
I would eat that. But yeah, the rest of this, oh my God. They're crazy.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it.
My goodness.
I'd debase myself. I don't have any self-respect.
Well, and you have an imagination, which I no longer have, you know?
Because I'm an adult.
Yeah. Do you want to let me spin the wheel again, or do you have anything else about the IFHOP stuff?
No, I just wanted to bring it up, and I thought it was well worth it. This stuff is
Horrible.
psycho, and I can't believe people did it. Or
Yeah.
people I'm sure people ate these, and I can't believe they did.
Guys, next time we do a movie with IHOP product tie-ins, we should do a live taste test. We should go to an IHOP together and record us eating every menu item.
I will watch, and you guys would, you know, drive you guys home or something as you're throwing up in the back seat. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what the next one of these would be. Like, did Garfield have one? Is Deadpool gonna have one? Like,
I think Garfield did have one.
That's the other weird thing about this is, like, I don't know how often this is happening.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if it's a very common occurrence. People that are near IHOPs or work at IHOPs, listen to this. Let us know what the story is, because I bet there exists.
Any like weird stories about like what happened?
There is an IHOP I could fairly easily get to from my apartment.
No.
Next time this happens, we'll send you out. We'll have you do the article.
Yeah.
I'll be our correspondent. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to spin the wheel again. This is one of mine. This is just kids who like clowns. Why do movies keep trying to pretend a kid would like a clown on purpose? You know? And if they did like a clown, let's just pretend this is the one child that like voluntarily enjoys the company of clowns. If you were imagining a clown, why would it look like Ryan Reynolds? He's not the standard clown.
Why wouldn't it, sir?
Why would it be a fully realistic human being?
Yeah. It's super weird.
You gonna get a CGI guy? Or are you gonna...
I would figure.
Why are you imagining an adult man? Like every other if that we see, even the ones that are vaguely humanoid, are like crazy characters.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just a human man.
Yeah.
I'm the human man, dude. Just like don't hate.
I hate the human man, and I think that's fine. I also think if I was this kid's parents and I saw this drawing with Calvin on it, I would be like, "Oh, we're gonna get stabbed by her. The clown's gonna tell her to stab us or something." That's what this is.
I'd be like, sweetie, why did you draw us on the right 2/3 of the picture and then Calvin all by himself on the left third of the picture? The composition's just all over the place.
Also, I think I have some questions about the race of these characters. I'd be like, listen, I get it. You used yellow for us because we had a limited color palette. Does that mean Calvin is just plain white with a red coloring as well? Like, he looks like a clown that killed somebody. I don't know, man. But he also has like a bunch of bullshit patterns and waistcoat stuff. So you're like, oh yeah, that's the Ryan Reynolds one. I don't know, man.
I also just can't imagine Ryan Reynolds like being like wacky like clown.
Oh, there's no one can imagine that.
I think there's a reason he never does it in the movie. It's because it's just unfathomable.
Yeah.
But also, okay. So, yeah, I just think that's weird that he's a clown. I spun the wheel again, landed on one of Diggins's. This comes with everybody, but so how the fuck does any of this work? It's like, what is happening during the times when the ifs glow? What is that?
They're feeling... That's when... So, you know Maslow's hierarchy of needs? That's when they're getting the top pyramid, which is like, you know, like psychological fulfillment or whatever. Like self-actualization.
Right.
It's they're experiencing self-actualization.
I don't know Maslow pyramids of needs, but I know the Merovingian's pyramid of needs. It would probably have something similar at the top and would probably make you glow.
I don't know that the self would end in actualization.
That's right. Yeah. What do they want in the beginning of the movie? Like, what are the ifs? What are their goals?
They see, so Blue seems to imply that if they don't do imaginary friend stuff for people, they eventually disappear. This isn't borne out at any point in the entire movie by anybody.
Nope.
To the point where I have to conclude that it is simply fake.
I mean, he's dumb. Like, Blue doesn't seem like he's got it all together, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, like, we have Louis Gossett Jr.'s Bear, who's 93, who has been in the retirement home for 93 years, which means his kid, even if we assume that he lost his if early, like Kaylee Fleming did.
Right.
That would mean that his child would have to be like 100 years old or more.
Yeah.
To still be alive. So, like, I can't imagine anything that would make, if disappearing is a thing, I can't imagine something that would make an if disappear more than the person who imagined you no longer being alive.
Right? Like, that's a wrap.
But Lewis is still here, hanging out. It feels like disappearing is like suicide. It's like you have to choose.
Oh my God.
It's like the end of The Good Place. Once you've played enough Madden, you just go, I guess I'm done.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then they get, like, what are they even auditioning the other ifs for?
Well, I guess they want jobs, right?
Yeah, to go match them with other kids, except she only knows one kid, so it's just for the one kid.
Did she match them with, like, when the one from the bear gets one? That was her one from childhood?
Yeah, so at the end, we're meant to understand that these are all the people who originally imagined them.
Yep.
Interesting.
Because we've decided, the movie said that that's the solution. Now, even though before, as you said, Blossom and Blue are never seen or acknowledged by their creators, they just glow, and that seems to make them feel good. In the end, they can see and interact with their creators who know who they are and are fully recognize them as people. So, like, what's going on?
I don't know. The if-verse
What are we doing
fucked.
here?
Yeah.
Also, here's a minor point, but one that really annoyed me when the twist came.
Mm-hmm.
So early on, we said that, like, Kaylee Fleming follows Blue as he, like, tries to get picked by the new kid.
Right.
Like, sneaks into a girl's bedroom to be like, I can be your imaginary friend. 2 points on this front. One, it is established by Ryan Reynolds that the child cried for an hour because he tried to do this.
Oh, yeah.
Does that mean the kids saw him?
Yeah, that's true.
Because, like, that's revolutionary. That means it worked.
Mm-hmm.
A thing we literally never see happen again for the rest of the movie. Or she didn't see him and she was just crying for unrelated reasons, in which case somebody call the cops.
Yeah,
right?
Something's going on in that house.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, when, like, Blue knocks stuff over, because ifs, even when they're not being seen by people, can physically interact with the world, which is insane. And I'm sure we'll talk about that more when I'm done with this point. Ryan Reynolds hides. But we find out later that he's an if who can't be seen by other people. So why did he hide?
It's a good question.
For the audience.
Yeah, because they hadn't figured that part out yet. That was a late game twist. Wait, now that I think about it, wait.
This movie's insane.
Yeah.
If that's what you're trying to...
Just...
At one point at the end, Ryan Reynolds opens a door for, I think, the little... Who is it? The gummy bear to meet the secretary lady? Or the unicorn? Yeah,
but
the unicorn with the heart, yeah.
The other ifs open doors throughout the movie, too.
Right.
How?
So yes, how? But this is just a subset of the ifs can physically interact with the world somehow.
Yeah, it really feels like for that first scene with the purple one, with Blue, that was the pitch for the movie. The first scene they wrote was, what if an if is doing a bad job because they had watched Monsters, Inc. that morning and kind of forgotten about it, but then they were like, let's write something. But then when they actually wrote the movie, they kept that scene, but changed everything else.
I'm not sure that they did forget about it when they wrote that, because John Krasinski did call this a live-action Pixar movie, which is like if Babe Ruth pointed at the stands and then struck out.
That really is.
Oh, my God.
That's so funny. How could you call it that? That's so derivative, man. Like, I might as well have called it a live-action Foster's Imaginary Friends. Yeah. Man.
That's insane.
It's so weak, man. I don't like him.
Yeah, get rid of that guy.
Yeah.
We all love Jim, but, he's had his time.
Jim's bad. I've
never watched The Office, so
I
don't have this fondness.
This has been established.
Yeah, you got to get on that train. It's very cool and
Do
great.
I?
No,
at this point?
No, don't watch it. It doesn't suck. It's fine. It is funny. It was funny when it was funny. We've moved on as a culture. I also think this show...
Not if you scroll through some GIFs on
that's true.
certain websites.
Yeah, I feel like that was always something that, like, it wasn't like a red flag for me back in the day when I was on, like, dating apps. But, like, that was always something I was like, we probably won't get along. That's not going to be good if The Office is your main, like, pastime. But, yeah.
If The Office is the main pastime, or you list your Harry Potter house on your dating profile. Those are two big, like, I don't know about that. Now, if they do it now.
I'll let it slide. I'll let the Harry Potter house slide if they will admit that the J.K. Rowling is a bad person. Then I'll be like, all right.
If they say, like, Harry Potter house, but fuck J.K. Rowling, I'm like, all right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But just Harry Potter house. That's where I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, the problem with the Harry Potter house on those is it's always Hufflepuff, right? Like, that's how it works. The people that would put their dating thing on a thing are Hufflepuffs. So it's like, kind of pointless. But you guys, I spun the wheel again. One of DJs, how do ifs interact with matter? Let's keep pulling this thread.
Yeah, so there are many points where it seems like the ifs can interact with the real world, and it doesn't make sense. Ryan Reynolds can open a door. He somehow gets her into Coney Island, or she fever dreamed the Coney Island.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out how much of this stuff she fever dreamed.
Mm-hmm. All of it.
Not only is Blue able to open a door into a business's bathroom, but is then able to sneeze and knock over a man who doesn't really seem to question what happened.
Well, it's always weird. There's this line between, like, did Blue break the sink, or did he lean too hard on the sink?
Right.
I feel like there's this, like, gray space they kind of play with.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
I think the only time this fully doesn't work is when Blue hugs the girl and we see through the eyes of the secretary that the girl appears to be kind of floating. Like, she's like kind of on one toe, but it's a position that would be impossible for a child to be in just kind of randomly.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Also, I just want to do a quick nitpick. As long as we're talking about that scene, I doubt there's a wheel slice for this. But so in that scene, Kaylee Fleming goes up to the secretary, or like the front desk lady at this business, says, I'm here to make a delivery.
Yep.
Walks 15 feet away, sits down, opens the box she said she's delivering, eats a croissant from it herself, sits there for a couple more minutes, and then leaves.
Yeah.
What is that lady? Why did that lady at no point be like, who are you delivering this to?
To her. I'm delivering it to me. Eating my croissants in this building. I don't know, man. You know, things gotten so woke, you can't even, people come right off the street and eat croissants in your building. You can't even kick them out, you know?
It's true.
It's a city for you these days. People getting stabbed, you know, all that stuff. It's not good.
Oh, man. I love hearing from relatives who have never even set foot in the city about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a problem.
They saw If. They know. You know, they understand. We got ladybugs and Betty Boops running around everywhere. It's bad.
I'll say If paints a very rosy picture of New York. 12-year-olds can just walk around the street in the middle of the night.
No worries.
Oh my God. Yeah. When the last scene when the grandma's like, "Where have you been?" I'm like, you didn't tell her anything. I mean, it would be funny if she gave her dad a heart attack. Were he not in the hospital for heart attack stuff already? Because like this kid, you'd have to assume she's been kidnapped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
No, I just think Fiona Shaw understands. She's watched that Netflix show about the Japanese toddlers who go do errands, and she understands you got to let the kids have their freedom. Things are going to be fine.
That's true. And they seem to live in like Brooklyn Heights, I think, is at one point is established where they're at. So
I don't recall.
Probably just not a place. I don't know.
So it's all good.
Yeah, it's all fine. In the Heights. They're probably singing and dancing all that shit.
All good.
Is it Brooklyn Heights in that? Yeah. Correct.
Do you think if we got a bunch of ifs, because they're not real, they're imaginary, it's in the name.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think we could like set up a treadmill or like a water wheel or something and just have them constantly running? They're imaginary. They probably don't get tired.
Yeah.
But they can physically affect the world. We determine. And just like generate infinite like clean energy.
This is really good.
And
I like this a lot.
You could even imagine specific ifs with like a million legs who never get tired or something. Because like it seems like you've kind of got free reign to just come up with whatever if you want. In fact, the ifs are able to, certain ifs have superpowers that you would figure are outside of what they can do. Like the spy if finds Bobby Moynihan somehow.
Yeah.
Like through, I don't know, Facebook or whatever. So I think you could use him to find some, people that have been kidnapped probably. I don't know.
You could set up like a private detective agency and just have the if do all the work because he was imagined as a child as being like a super spy who could do any of this.
Right.
Yep. He's got files and everything.
Yeah. They really man, this movie's not good.
It is not good.
It's not good.
Yeah, wait, hold on. How does the if produce physical files that Kaylee can pick up and interact with?
I think it would have had to have stolen them from somewhere, but where did it steal them from?
Right.
The police station, maybe? Maybe he's got a rap sheet a mile long.
If they can steal things, could I like send my if out to like go commit crimes for me and like, just no evidence gets left behind?
Your if has to be on board, but like I think you can definitely swing it.
Hold on. Is your if just your stand from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Oh.
It's just an invisible ghost that will do what you tell it to do?
Maybe.
And gives you superpowers.
Yeah. If you
got I have concerns that there might be some if trafficking problems.
Oh.
I think that
but we established in this movie ifs are not transferable.
Ooh. Well, what if you decided to make a bunch of ifs and then like have them do the things for you? Or you would have some kind of if contracting service that you would have your ifs do some kind of tasks that was needed.
Well, I do want to point out, I think within the rules of the movie, you only get one if per person. It seems like you have an imaginary friend. You can't spawn 50 of them.
Interesting. Okay.
Although maybe you could spawn
Someone
one that
would
can.
try.
Yeah.
Someone would try.
Infinite wishes.
Yeah.
But like the ones that can fly can actually fly. It seems like.
Yeah.
Which is weird. What was I going to ask about the ifs? Oh, do you guys have a favorite if? Which if would you want if we had to pick one of the ones from the movie?
Did you already ask this? I said I hate all of them.
Oh, did I ask this?
Well, he says which one we liked. This is which one would you want?
Which one would you like? Which one
different?
Which one would
because
be
we've just established they can do crimes for us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I want Sam Rockwell's because he seems like a superhero who might be able to fuck shit up for me.
Yeah.
Protect Poughkeepsie and whatnot.
That's a good point.
What about you, Diggins?
I think. I mean, we already talked about how useful the detective one is, so I feel like saying that would be cheating.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with the astronaut because he can like fly me places, right? Like he can. He's got like an infinite power, like working jetpack.
It does seem like that.
That feels like it could be really useful in my day-to-day life.
Yeah, I feel like I mean, the correct answer is the spy. Although my problem with the spy is he does seem like he would just drive me insane. You know, because I'd always be like, is he going to show up? Yeah. So that probably wouldn't be good.
But so does everyone in this movie.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah, if we're looking at superpowers that individual ifs have, I feel like he's probably the only one. Him and the Flyers are the ones that like actually bring some sort of like something to the table. I feel like maybe the invisible one make things invisible? Like if it puts it in its little jacket, let's say it has a jacket, can it steal money from the bank that way? Because then that's pretty handy.
Ooh, that's like game breaking. If you
but people can't see them anyway, right? So like they can steal anything.
You know what? Well, but like
get one with pockets.
Yeah, it has to have pockets. So maybe like the alien, not the alien, excuse me, the spaceman in the spacesuit. You could probably stuff some shit in there. Also, maybe the Sebastian Maniscalco rap. Maybe being small would be helpful. Because these guys...
he can do real magic.
Yeah, that's true. And these guys do, like, obey the laws of physics, right? So, like... Well, how do they get into... Like, how did Blue get into the hospital? Service entrance?
I was gonna say, they obey the laws of physics except when they don't.
Yeah.
Because he also squeezes himself into that hamper he's clearly too big for.
Right, yeah. I don't know.
A lot of bullshit in this movie.
A lot of bullshit.
Bullshit.
I spun the wheel again, landed on one of Diggins's, the world's most annoying dad. Kind of touched on this already, but like, man.
Let's actually just do an accounting of all the stupid bullshit John Krasinski does in this movie.
Please.
So at the beginning, he puts a like little face on his IV drip and like does a dance with it pretending it's his partner
for like way too long.
Way too long.
You get away with one of those little spins and it's like ha ha ha, but no, it's like he's choreographed a whole routine.
And he also pretends that she's like a real person he had to practice with after the dance too, and it's like the bit's over.
Yeah
stop it.
I mean, maybe he's you know, his wife dying drove him partially insane.
Honestly, it's the only excuse for this shit.
Honestly, if it wasn't the heart thing, but she goes to visit her dad, he does stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then she like goes out and like talks to the nurse. She's like, still not getting any better. You know, ever since that day, he's just been like this.
He keeps screaming about ifs. He says everything is ifs or something. Sounds dumb. Nobody asks him any follow-up questions because it doesn't sound that fun.
Then he sets up like he escaped. He like puts a bunch of blankets knotted together out the window and left a note, but he's just hiding in a cupboard or something.
Yeah, what a weird thing to do.
Yeah, it's like it relies on the idea that people know that you're some sort of insufferable prankster and that you would just be hiding. Which, like, for your daughter, sure, you've made her put up with this for 12 years.
Yeah.
But, like, what if, like, a nurse comes in?
Right.
Like, what is she gonna think?
Well, it's also like, what are you even doing at this hospital? I heard the nurse is just like, I guess he's just still here. Because, like, he doesn't have IV drips in for all the time, it seems like. Maybe he does at that point, but...
Does he live here?
Yeah, I think maybe
like,
he does.
Yeah, he's not with the grandma for most of the movie.
But, like,
that's...
Why? That's not how surgery works.
That's what I said before. It's like, it's not clear to me why he's staying in the hospital for, like, what seems like at least a week, maybe more, before the surgery.
Yeah.
That's not how this works.
Also, I feel like this...
I mean, it's how it works if you're, like, deathly ill and, like, can't move. But he's clearly just walking around healthy. He has an IV drip in once, but not even every time. It's like, he does not need to be here.
And also,
give that bed to someone else who needs it.
Well, the thing with the bed, too, I feel like this girl, has to go into a hospital room with her dad, who is she's very concerned about, obviously having gone through all the stuff with her mom. And I think on 3 separate occasions walks into an empty hospital bed and has a little bit of a scare, you know, and it's like, definitely that blanket time is completely unnecessary. Like, even if it's just for a second, man, come on, think about your daughter a little bit. But he's really into the pranks and the bits, and yeah.
He loves bits so much.
It's a lot of like blankets and towels too. How many? He must have used so many. Also,
yeah, where did he get all of them?
The hospital windows open.
Pretty sure for this reason they don't open that way.
For pranks.
Like,
yeah,
they'll open a little to let in like wind, but I don't think they fully open like that.
Yeah. That was weird. What other things are they doing?
Does he do other pranks? I'm trying to remember.
I mean, he doesn't prank her by listening to her story as she is asleep, but he does do that.
That would have been so good.
Yeah.
Where he doesn't like wake up slowly. He pops up like, hey! Or ready? If it's a prestige and he walks in like behind her and is like, boo! What a great story. Just have it be like a prestige situation.
Did you?
There's also a moment when he's watching the video camera she found earlier, even though there's never any point where she gives it to him.
It's a weird guy.
My other question is like, what's the situation with what was I gonna say? Oh, do you remember the beginning when they're showing the flashbacks of like, their olden times, times with the mom before the mom had passed away.
It's raining from.
Oh.
Yeah, it's. I'm getting the rain as well.
Yeah.
But I was gonna ask, you guys remember what the Halloween costumes they wore?
They were they like 2 dragons and she was like a fairy or something?
They were those little like lazy kind of like jumper kind of costumes. It seems like they're the kind of family that would really ball out on costumes. Like completely designed, like prince and princess, all that shit.
Annoyingly so.
Yeah, we're just like, I don't know. That felt kind of not like out of character, but just didn't feel right. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal, but it's weird. We haven't even talked about the dance number. What do you guys think about that dance number?
I hated it so much and thought it was stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like badly choreographed, but it was pointless.
It really was.
Like a lot of this, it felt like was to fill time, but like the movie could have been a tight 84 minutes long, but instead they just added a lot of extraneous bullshit.
Hold on, sorry. I know I'm going through the movie right now to try to find more John Krasinski pranks, and I forgot the time. And this isn't even really weird on his part. She walks in with the flowers that she bought for him and is like, hey, I got a job, because she's talking about helping the Fs.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, cool. I can't ask any questions? Nope. And then she leaves. That was the whole visit.
Yeah.
Because we see her walk in and then we see her walk out. Like, why did you even come?
Yeah.
It's a good question.
That was a good question. This is a silly, stupid ass movie, man.
Movie's
so dumb.
Movie's weird. But yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah, me neither.
All right, we got one more thing on the wheel that I want to hit on. Very important. Okay. It's just a line: flavors of pizza. It's one of Diggins'.
This is so small, but it really bothered me.
Me as well.
There's a point, I think fairly late in the game, where she and the grandma are eating dinner, which is just pizza. And the grandma, who's always been like charmingly not that good at this, just goes like, oh, I just got, how did you like it? I didn't know what flavor you like, so I just got everything. And I'm like, hold on. That's not what you call pizza.
Yeah. I only kind of maybe on that was like maybe Oreo cookie pizza. You know, that one I would say has a flavor. Maybe if pizzas have gotten their way, like IHOP's making pizzas now. and why wouldn't they?
But I wouldn't say that's like a flavor of pizza. I would say that's a dessert
no one
pizza.
says that. Like, yeah.
It's true.
You wouldn't call that pizza, right?
It's kind
also, you're in New York. Call it a pie. I got some pies.
But she is British. However, I feel fairly certain that flavor of pizza is not a Britishism.
Yeah,
Correct
that's
us if
true.
we're wrong, people.
Yeah, if we have any British listeners, first of all, disgusting. Second of all, correct us on if flavor of pizza is a thing you people say.
They're like, you have your strawberry flavor. You have your chocolate flavor.
Mm-hmm.
You have your hazelnut flavor.
Of pizza?
Of pizza.
Of pizza.
Now, they do put weird things on pizza in Europe, like corn.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, monsters.
Now, yeah, anything else about If? Was this woke?
I hated it. No one should see it. Was it woke? Ooh.
I don't think so.
I
I don't think so.
John Krasinski's kind of anti-woke in his folksiness. I would say this movie would have to do a lot of work to be woke with him.
I feel like John Krasinski is that like soft anti-woke, where it's like you're not anti-woke because you go around talking about how the transes are trying to trans your kids. But you're anti-woke where whenever anyone asks you to like take a position on something, you're just like, oh shucks, I couldn't possibly.
Yeah, like on Black Lives Matter when all that stuff was happening and he was sharing like videos of police hugging protesters. You remember that? That was one of his greatest
stuff
hits.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I do think it is a surprising and not a surprisingly white movie, but it is quite a white movie considering you could hire absolutely any human being on earth to play any of these guys. Like,
It's true.
it's surprising to me.
There's the nurse.
Oh,
is a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
Aquafina is Asian.
Keegan-Michael Key, right? He's in it.
He. Louis Gossett Jr., also black.
Okay.
And I think that might be it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I mean, wait, Amy Schumer was in this? Oh.
Yeah, she was the gummy
I
bear.
didn't realize that. Not that I
Another
think she's...
person that you never brought up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maya Rudolph, I suppose.
Oh, sure, yeah. Oh, she was the alligator, huh?
Mm-hmm.
This movie.
I forgot there was an alligator.
Yeah, it's not
What
good.
a freaking movie.
So people should watch it?
No.
Oh.
No one should
No.
watch this.
Definitely not.
Damn. All right, well, so how about this? Where would you rank it this year in terms of movies about imaginary friends?
Dead last so far.
So
yeah,
it's below
I definitely
imaginary?
liked Imaginary more.
Wow. Incredible.
Do you disagree?
No, not at all. I'm just shocked that Imaginary has beaten this one.
Imaginary at least is like, it's not a good movie, but at least it's kind of goofy.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I had some fun with it. This is, like I said, it's just an annoying movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's for sure. I'm curious about that other one that comes out later this year. See where that ends up. But yeah,
Which one is that? That's not the anime one, right?
Yeah, it's the anime one. I think it's called Imaginary as well.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Are we gonna do it?
I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it
The theme.
just for fun. But you know what we should
Like
do?
how we did all 3 Pinocchio movies.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But we should do our classic segment where we recommend some things to the fine people. DJ,
If you insist.
do you have anything to recommend?
I do. So I want to keep the trend going of 2024 hater culture. There's a Dan Olsen movie and might as well
nice.
be YouTube video that dropped like last week called I Don't Know James Rolfe.
Mm-hmm.
James Rolfe is the angry video game nerd, and Dan Olsen does like a nice deep dive into kind of like the history of him, and then kind of like where he is now, but like how it's changed and become unfortunately more corporatized, as many of these things on YouTube do. Can't wait till you sell out, Nando. Can't wait till you're owned by Fangraphs or whatever.
Yeah.
Screenwave, I think.
Screenwave,
Okay,
that's the one. Yeah. I mean, listen, the room I record in is already too big. I could never fill his shoes because I also watched this video the other day.
I mean, listen, if we get a cut of you selling out, then I'm all for it.
That's true. I mean, you guys could be those guys that come on and do podcasts without me, and everybody's like, "Isn't Nando supposed to be in them or something?"
we just cut footage of you for later.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Here, I could do some lines now. Wow. I don't know, DJ. You're full of shit, DJ. That's crazy. All right, use those.
Yeah, that should carry us.
Yeah, no, I think we'll be good. But yeah, I really just do think this just continues the theme of hater culture throughout 2023, which I think is fine. Or 2024, excuse me.
I think this is a little more complicated than hater culture.
Really?
Taken in its totality.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think it's not like a hate piece about James Rolfe. I think, did you finish it?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like halfway through, there's kind of like the turn, and then it's something more complicated than hater.
Yeah, that's fair. I get it. I do think there is something here where maybe not hater is like the right word, but I think there is this dissection of like, you know, something about the, you know, pure quaint YouTube of 2006 that is turned into just like a monster of something that like this guy might want to be like done with. You know,
but then by the end, it's kind of like ultimately it hasn't changed that much. The thing that's changed is you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I would say if anything, the tone I got from it was just like kind of like not like disappointed, but just like, oh, that's too bad. You know, this thing went bad for him or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a feels bad, especially when he's talking about the stuff with like his wife and his kid, and it's like his fans are like, "Oh my god, this guy's been fucking cucked."
It's wild.
It's like it's just like fucking people are the worst. And yeah, that is admittedly disappointing.
And even just
like Dan puts it as like, like this is a shame that some of his fans turned on him in a weird way.
And even the stuff where he's just talking about like the room that he records in and how weird and uncomfortable it is. It's just like, that's what it feels like. It feels like a part of it, I guess, because it is a lot of things, but it kind of feels like a cribs tour of a celebrity whose life is not going great. Not that his life isn't going great, but just like that thing where you keep opening doors and go, oh, I guess this is part of it. And oh, this is what your student films were like back in the day and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially with his biography too, being part of it and being able to like look at all that. It's fascinating.
The autobiography is eye-opening.
Really, yeah. Did you guys watch Angry Video Game Nerd when you were younger?
Nah,
oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. I found out I didn't. Yeah, I did too. I kind of forgot about it, but I remember a lot of those videos.
I didn't like follow it religiously, but like, yeah, you know, I watched a bunch of that early stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow missed me. Somehow.
Well, and you know what?
You were a big nostalgia critic guy, DJ.
That's what I was going to say is that's how you know that this isn't hating is because the nostalgia critic stuff is hating. This is like something else.
That's fair. Yeah. So, all right. So not hater culture, but I don't know. Like it's.
Well, it helps that as far as we can tell, James Rolfe has never been a like abusively bad boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
If anything, he seems largely like, I don't know, just like
he seems like maybe too chill in the way he runs things.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a good video. Should check it out. Clearly, we all saw it, so we know how great and cool it is.
It is a great video.
Yeah, it's cool.
So yeah, that's my rec for the week. Diggins, what do you have to rec, good sir?
Well, gentlemen, I've been playing a little video game lately.
Ooh, here it is.
Actually, it's not what you think.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been playing the Elden Ring DLC.
That's right, because in our chat you said you hadn't played it, and they've already made it easier for people like me. That's nice of them.
I'm disappointed now. I'll never get to experience the true uncut difficulty.
Yeah.
I'll never get my dick smashed between two rocks and be like, this is awesome. But I have been playing something that is somewhat inspired by the works of From Software.
Oh.
I've been playing a little game called Nine Sols. Have you guys heard of this?
I don't think so.
It's the latest game by Red Candle Games, who you may remember. They're a Taiwanese developer. They made Detention and Devotion, which were two like horror games. Devotion got a lot of attention because they accidentally left a texture in comparing Xi Jinping to Winnie the Pooh, which which made the Chinese government get the game banned from all major distribution platforms.
Let's go.
Until now, you still can't buy it on Steam.
Damn.
Heroes.
No, their games are incredible. So like they are heroes. But fortunately, they managed to clear out all of the textures that the Chinese government would object to, even though the themes of the game honestly feel much more critical of the Chinese government. But anyway, of this game, Nine Sols, which is not a horror game, actually. It's a really big divergence in their usual output. It's like a Metroidvania style game, which is like 2D platformer exploration. It's a lot like Hollow Knight, a game that I absolutely love. But instead of taking like Dark Souls combat, it takes combat from Sekiro, another FromSoft game, which is all about like parries and timing. So like the main flow of combat is when enemies attack, you have to press the parry button at the exact right second so that you don't take any damage from their attack. And then it builds up a meter that you can use to like stick explosives on them and blow up the enemies.
Nice.
Which is really cool. It has a good flow to it. And the setting of the game is also really interesting. It's like, they call it Tao Punk, which is, it's very inspired by like, you know, Chinese myths and folklore. But also it's like a sci-fi setting at the same time. It's like, I don't want to get into spoilers too much, but very early in the game, it becomes obvious that there's like these aliens who set up this whole system, including like putting humans like in a kind of containment area where they've set up this whole like ecosystem on like their own little Death Star, basically. And you are playing as one of the aliens who originally set this up, but for what is, at the beginning, unclear reasons, has turned against the others. Yeah, so I think that's the most I can say without getting into spoilers. But it's super cool. I'm really, really enjoying it. I was annoyed at this podcast recording because it meant I had to stop playing for a little while.
Fair enough.
So yeah, that's Nine Sols. This one is on Steam, so you can go and check that out. What about you, Nando? Do you have anything to recommend?
So I was going to recommend the James Rolfe video because I also think it's great. But I haven't. But I'll we talked about that a lot. I'll say I don't know if I'm fully there with with the
Acolyte.
With the Acolyte, yeah, I feel like I'm more or less ready to recommend it just because it's kind of interesting in certain ways that Star Wars isn't usually. I think most of the actors are good. I guess part of me is just like I want to see where the story goes, kind of what it's trying to say, because it still has a lot of mystery elements that are unresolved that could be quite stupid. But I do think like the combat's pretty cool. Lightsaber combat is cool. You know, we all love that. They all turn on lightsabers and go, and then certain characters played by certain actors. So if you've seen episode 5, you know what I mean, are just doing work. And like, my goodness, it's something that I feel like is pretty good. So I appreciate that. I think it's fun. Like I said, don't know where it's going. Don't know if it's gonna be worth it. Not like worth it, but don't know if like it's gonna be amazing ending or what. But I'm more or less into it. Besides, I haven't really been into too much stuff. I'm watching a lot of like, stuff we've already been watching. House of Dragon is fine. Yeah, they're like riding around. There's dragons and stuff. I think if you like the old one, you'll like the new one.
Even though that one actor is bad and we hate him.
Matt Smith? Oh no!
Because of the things his character did.
Oh yeah, that guy. I mean, listen, if there was ever a character that was going to get this, he should have seen this coming from a mile away. Like the internet, I saw the thing you posted about the Mad Max guy, and I remember seeing that too. And it's like, you just can't win with some people. But yeah, after the Mad Max guy had his like weird one of these, it's like any character that does a bad thing just is going to get weirdness. But this character specifically is incredibly unlikable. Like, you can't watch the show and not want this guy to die at some point soon.
I feel like it's reasonable to be an actor in 2024, have this happen to you, and like be confused because you're not a woman.
Yeah.
That's who this happens to.
If it's progress, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, this character, man. Either guys watching it? Hot D, as they say?
Nah.
They can't trick me again.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, it's, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But,
Michelle's watching it, but
how
not for me.
How does she feel about Sir Christian?
I have no idea. I just asked her, like, oh, how's the show? She's like, oh, it's going well, da-da-da. I don't, like, probe her on what's going on. But she seems to like it in general. So, it has dragons, so...
It does.
And houses.
Cool.
Quite a few.
Yeah.
Quite a few each.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are all I recommend for now. What are we doing next week?
That's a good question. Hopefully something better than this. Because this was bad.
Something's coming out, right?
I don't know. What are we in July?
Sworn.
I mean, I believe you.
I mean, The Quiet Place, I think, that's coming soon, right?
No.
That is coming.
I haven't seen a single Quiet Place anything.
Yeah. Despicable
we
4
have all this
comes out soon.
We have all this theoretical debt we're supposed to pay down.
Yeah, we could do one of them.
Like
yeah,
something.
we could do one of those.
We keep teasing we're going to, and then it just never happens.
Yeah.
Because we hate our listeners and we want them to suffer.
Right, I keep forgetting that. It's very critical.
Well, it's because they hate us too and want us to suffer as well. Like, it's like we're both...
Yeah, it's mutual.
It's a game we're playing with each other. Oh, we could watch... If you don't want to do Quiet Place, we could do Horizon and American Saga. That fucking
seeing that's out.
boring looking...
Part 1 is out.
Movie.
Oh.
Costner movie?
Yeah, there's also The Exorcism, the other Russell Crowe exorcism movie.
Oh, yeah.
That's tempting.
I'm kind of excited
That's really
for that.
tempting.
That's a home release one for me, though. Like, when that... And I'm sure it'll be within weeks.
Agreed.
But, yeah.
Agreed.
I'm down for that.
I left Inside Out 2, and I texted the group chat, is this the sequel I missed or something? Because I saw the poster with it, and I'm like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. No, it's just... They just did another one.
And they did the poster pretty much the same, too.
Yeah,
same side of his face, same lighting.
Crazy similar.
It's great. I hope he didn't even recognize. I hope he just went to both sets and then was like, "Oh, I guess we're shooting pickups for Exorcist." Oh, they got rid of some of the names.
Like,
all right, whatever.
Like, wow, the plot of this one, they really changed the plot. This doesn't seem like it fits in with the other scenes at all.
It's Hollywood for you, you know. I was a good guy in the Thor movie, and then turned me into a bad guy. So fucking man, I just say whatever they want.
Did you see that he had said like a thing like defending the like superhero movies for like, in response to the Dakota Johnson thing, where he's like, look, when you're doing one of these movies, you know what's going on. I did Thor and loved it.
Well, yeah, he was basically like, listen, it's a movie, you know, it's a job. And I'm like, yes, this is the attitude all of you should have. And I think Dakota Johnson has also kind of had that attitude most of this time. But I do think it's hilarious that Craven comes out this year and he's like in it, and he just doesn't really. I think he forgot. Maybe he's an exorcist in that one too, you know?
Well, he finished filming it like 3 years ago.
That's true. He probably thinks it already came out.
He's gonna be shocked when he has to do press for that.
Oh god,
like
who was the woman in Avatar 2 who thought that it had already come out?
Oh, Kate Winslet?
It was Edie Falco.
Oh, Edie Falco. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, Russell Crowe's gonna do press and like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, I loved working with that guy, the Aaron Taylor.
Pope's Exorcist was so fun. I got to do the silly accent,
Yeah.
and then an aide comes up and urgently whispers in his ear, and he's like, "What? I did what?"
Yes, it's you. Your mother is dead.
Your mother is dead. That could have been how this movie started. Daughter, your mother is dead. And then he'd be like, I'm sorry, I'm just doing a little voice. This is from Craven. Ha ha ha. I'm so silly. It's one of my accents.
Your mom is dead, though.
Yeah, but your mother is dead. So let's talk about, we'll figure it out. But DJ, do you have anything to plug?
Yeah, I got a couple plugs. So, as always, Roses and Rejections did the finale of Perfect Match Season 2. And then The Bachelorette's coming back 2 weeks. So, like, the next time we record, we'll be talking about The Bachelorette. We previewed the men for this season. I was on a Bluey podcast for the Pop Break on the Saturday Morning Cartoon Podcast. We did a Dad's Bluey podcast where it was a bunch of dads talking about Bluey and how it makes us cry because we're real men who cry at Bluey. And then Michelle was on the Anime Pop podcast. I can't remember if I mentioned that. And then actually she's going to be on the TV Break talking about House of the Dragon. So you can actually get her thoughts on House of the Dragon on the latest TV Break podcast. And then I'm going to be on a Batman by the Numbers podcast, which I can't talk about yet, but I'll talk about it when it's done. And yeah, that's all the plugs.
Now you can tell it's real love because DJ plugs all the stuff Michelle's doing, even though she doesn't listen to this podcast.
It's true. Well, to be fair, I don't listen to the podcast she goes on, so I guess it's fair. Like, I don't listen to anything she's done.
Wow.
She doesn't know all the promises you've already made about how you guys are going to be a weird sex couple like in Coda, you know? When's she going to find out about that?
Yeah, even though you can't handle when your friend talks about coming.
Nope. He already, you can see his face, he's done.
Talking about, listen.
He doesn't even like that I'm saying the word coming. I'm not even really talking about the act.
I'm thinking of a text that was sent after we recorded the Inside Out 2 podcast regarding high sticking and some other things that, I'd just rather not revisit.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but you seem to want to.
No. I just, that's why I'm uncomfortable. So.
Well, Diggins, anyway, what about you? Do you have anything to plug?
Not really, unless you want to read my Fallout piece on alittleperspective.substack.com again. I got one or two more of those before the fact that I haven't written anything new embarrasses me out of plugging it. What about you, Nando?
Nice. I got videos coming out. They'll definitely be out between now and the next podcast. So my Things Marvel Can Learn from X-Men 97 video will be out. And then on Nebula, that means my In Defense of the X-Men Movies Nobody Likes video will be out. That'll be fun. Besides that, who knows? I'll have another, Snap video. I have a Snap video on Airshim that's on Nebula right now. It's pretty fun. Working on the Gwenpool one. So I'm looking forward to that. She's a weird character that is more complicated than people expect. But yeah, those are all just in the ether and such. But yeah, next week, some movie. We'll figure it out when you see us review it on Letterboxd. Until then, nice. I am at Nando V Movies on Twitter.
I'm at Zippy by Day.
I'm at This Is an Odd Name.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Woo-hoo. Bye. We love you.